Welcome to the stream, everyone. It's your boy Miles Stacks. But today again we are going live to bring awareness to type 1 diabetes and also type 2. So if you can, again, this live is in support of diabetes awareness. So today we'll be talking about a couple of great topics for you guys. Number one, we'll have a couple of guests come on live, and the live will also be open to any of our guests who want to give their opinion as well on these topics. If not, leave your opinions in the chat as well. So let's go over a quick topics for you guys today. We'll be speaking on the race wealth gap in America, relationships, a huge topic that's going on. If a woman is to take marriage, should she change her last name or not? So we will discuss that as well. But also we'll give our thoughts as well on the first episode of Raising Kanan. So we'll end the live with that topic as well. So just allow me a few moments. I'm going to post the link in the chat for our Twitch, Kick, and YouTube followers. And then also I'll send it, post it on Facebook as well. So if anybody wants to join the live to give their opinions on the topics we'll be discussing today, that's completely fine. Again, if you guys don't want to join the live, just leave your opinions in the chat. So I'm also going to send out the live to a few of the guests who wanted to come on today. Again, this live stream, and we go on live every day. Again, our channel is to bring awareness to cure type 1. Sorry, not just type 1, to cure diabetes. Let me be more specific. Where our goal is to bring awareness to diabetes and just to let people know that, we are able to live regular lives as diabetics. I'm a type 1 diabetic myself. So there's not really a lot of content creators out there. So that's the reason why I made this channel, and I'm going live tonight and live every day just to bring awareness to the disease, and also to show you guys that, hey, diabetics do function properly when we are properly taking our medicine, and also just being fit and healthy as well as we should be. So let me send out the live stream to a couple of our guests, and then we'll go ahead and get started on the topics at hand. I'm hoping you guys are having a blessed Thursday. And if you can, follow the page. If you like content like this, follow the page. Go ahead. Again, we'll be live daily. We do add some gaming content on days, and then we'll have days like this where we're going live, having guests on the stream as well too. So just hold one moment. Let me post the chat. Let me post a link in the chat for everybody if they wanted to join in, and then let me send the link out to our guests as well. All right, so we have the link sent out to our YouTube, Kick, and Twitch people as well. And then let me just log in on Facebook and put it on the Facebook chat too, and we'll go ahead and pin that there. So again, anybody who wants to join a live is completely open to you guys. Just like moment to set everything up. Still new to all the streaming stuff, so it is a little bit more. Just make sure we have everything sounding good and do a couple of sound checks as well. But once we have everything in place, we will be going live, eventually around 9:30 every night. That could be more consistent, especially with my work schedule. And then the days where I can be live a little bit earlier, we'll definitely get that going as well. So on my Facebook, I'm posting it now. Let me go ahead and post that out. We'll post that and pin it. And then let me send the link out to our guests who coming on stream to continue the conversation with us tonight. It should be a very entertaining live tonight. Again, these are all just great topics to have a discussion, especially in our community for young adults. I think it's very important for us to have these topics, and not just our young adults too. I think we all can learn from this. Just one moment, sending out one more person, and then you guys got my attention for the next hour and a half, 2 hours. So that's going to be our goal with these daily live streams. At least going an hour and a half, 2 hours, as far as engaging conversations. If they go a little bit longer or longer than the 2 hours, I'm completely fine with that. If you guys are entertained and like talk, hey, I love to talk too. So as long as you guys are engaged with me, I'll be engaged with you guys. But again, we're doing daily lives, regardless if we have people here or not. Our conversations are very important to have. And again, because it's very educational. Also, it's just good to have be a real good dialogue. It's not always about if someone is right or wrong. It's mainly just about how can we present ourselves and our thoughts out to the public. So again, thank you for anybody who's tuning into the live. Sorry from people who follow me on TikTok. Until we get the page over a certain amount of followers, I won't be able to add TikTok to our daily live streams. But as soon as I'm able to do that and get the page where it needs to be, then we will go ahead and get that started for you guys. And we have one of our guests here now. I'll let her go ahead and get herself ready. And then if she is good to go, I'll add her to the stage. Yeah, I think you good, Joy? Give me a thumbs up if you can see this. You good? All right, I think she's still center. I can see her on the stage. You guys can't see her yet. And I'll wait for her to get situated. Then we'll go ahead and get her added on. And again, guys, it's simple. The link is to StreamYard. So all you have to do is just click the link and just give yourself a name, a title, what you want to go by, and then we'll go ahead and get you added on. And again, we'll have Joy. She was on last week as well. So last week we spoke about the Asian boycott in America. So it was a good topic. We spoke on that. Also, the financial literacy, the between for Black Americans and just America in general. So we spoke about a lot of good topics last Thursday, which is why we had to invite her back on. Hopefully, to continue doing this every week in regards to just having a great, engaging conversations. I guess for you guys. So I'll go ahead and bring Joy on. I'll let her introduce herself, and then we can kind of get started with the topics at hand.
Okay, I'm on here.
All right, Joy, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mal.
Okay, hold on. Oh, you're coming out my speaker. Let me change that real quick. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Hold on. Of course
Can
you
you
can.
hear me?
Okay, hold on 1 second. Oh, there we go. About. All right,
All right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. It would help if I have my headphones plugged in. Hey, look. If we chat, we beginning. We beginning. That's how you work out the Kings live. You feel me? That I can hear everything. Let me turn myself down just a little bit. Is that better? Yeah, me. I'm not too loud now. All right, we are all good. How you doing today, Joy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, and thank you again for joining the live as well. Let me make sure that. Oh, fix my camera.
All right, 2 seconds. Let me get a charger.
No problem. All right, there we go. Yeah, I don't know why I was showing the top of my head. I know I don't got the haircut just yet, y'all. You feel me? Haircut
No,
on
let me
Saturday.
continue. Anyway, 2 seconds. Let me grab
Oh,
my
you're
charger.
fine. Yeah, take your time. Again, I'll go over the topics for you guys today. Again, it'll be very engaging conversation. Um, Yeah, so look, I did get some tips too for some people. So eventually, I'll have everything I need. So I'm in the process of getting everything set up. So I'll eventually have another monitor as well. So I'll have like my notes and everything I need. So you guys don't have to worry about me reading off my phone. But for right now, look, just bear with your boy. You feel me?
So
Let's
how
see.
come you just don't use the setup you got?
This is the setup I got, but I'm gonna have an even higher.
Mm-mm. The two monitors that you got.
Look, cause hey, my guy Wade, I appreciate you tuning in, man. If you can share the live out to anybody you think I'll be interested in these topics, but I appreciate the like and appreciate the comment as well, man. Love
Why
you too,
not?
my guy. You know what I'm saying? All love. What they say? One love. All right, I'm done with that. All right, let me lock it. Seriously. But no, seriously, to your point, so with the monitors, right? They don't have the feature to split the display on an Apple Mac Mini. I'm not using a Windows PC. So since it's not a Windows, I'm using a Windows docking station with the Apple computer, so it's not able to split the displays. So I can only use one monitor as of right now. But tomorrow my PC comes in, so I'll be able to have dual monitors, and it'll make it a lot easier to having a chat on one end, and then also having a display and everything on the other end. So to answer your question, is that you got to ask Apple why they're so difficult with these setups. But hey, we got it working. You feel me?
Hey, as long
You
as it
feel me?
works, that's all that matters.
Right. And again, just for the topics today, guys. So we're going to speak on about relationships, the racial wealth gaps. We're going to speak on what's happening on raising kin as well. Also speak on the healthcare for our people. So if anybody's had any bad experience, oh, my bad. I'm going through. Hold on. Okay, that's not me. All right, here we go. So we're going to speak about the racial bias in healthcare as well. So if you have your experiences with that, home ownership, is that still possible for our people to obtain home ownership, especially with the economy that's how it is today, and also the process as well. And then we also last thing we'll speak on is the code switching in workplace. So a lot of times people say they can bring yourself to work, but you got to code switch a lot. So are you really being your full self at work, and are you staying in that persona just to make people around you happy? So we're hitting a little bit hard topics today. Some good topics as well. So chat again, if you guys want to join, the link is in the chat. Anybody can come on stream. Again, we have Joy on as well. We may have an additional guest if they can join tonight. That'll be perfect. Oh, one more thing before we start. Let me post it on Instagram. Yeah. See, they got to make one app that was like, what I mean? But, we're not there just yet. There's a paywall for everything, people.
There
Oh,
is.
y'all could donate. Hey, y'all could donate, right? Yeah, actually, y'all could donate, and then we can afford all the AI stuff to send out stuff for us, so we don't have to manually do it. You feel me? That's the only solutions. Nah, just jokes, man.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, but really, that's all we need. Like, comment, and subscribe, and share the live out to your friends. Live now. Oh, let me put the YouTube link up. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's the wrong one. Hold on. I was about to shout out the live stream link. We're gonna have everybody hitting the wrong link. It's gonna be like, I don't want to get on live. Yeah, I
Oh
know you. Not
no.
everybody is camera friendly, which is okay. Because you realize just talking to the camera is just like talking to yourself. But it's all good. It's all right. I'm out here to give you guys a motivational speaking on how to speak into a camera. It's all
Yes,
right,
he
man.
is. Yes, he is.
That's a video for another day. You feel me? Say nah, say nah, say nah.
Motivational Mal.
Yeah. You know they call me Brother Mal out there, man. I'm just letting y'all know. All right, here we go.
We
Wait
no
for this
longer
up.
have motivational Mondays with Mal at work anymore.
Hey. They don't know I'm not at work right now. Don't even put
You
my
are at
business out
work.
there.
Just be working from home.
You know,
Motivational
look,
Mondays. I mean,
I'm
working
I'm
from
studious,
home.
guys. You feel me? And then look, oh, my glasses got ordered on Monday, so we about another probably another week, and I'm gonna really be Brother Mal here. So y'all really gonna be tuning in there. I can read the chat from far away too. So you feel me? I told you I had the cataract surgery. So like my eyes, they don't focus. I can see, they just don't focus on text. So like that's why you see me if I get close to the screen. That's the only reason why. But my glasses were ordered Monday from the actual doctor's office. I had to be
At work,
mindful.
this is how he is, guys.
Yeah, I'm mad close to the screen. Hey, but we a top performer. You feel me? Fingers moving. You feel me? The fingers be moving, yo, for real. Hey, man, you feel me? But again, we'll go ahead and get started on our first topic today. So we had a huge topic. Oh, before we get into the conversation, I do want to send my condolences to Tay Keith, uh, producer, huge producer for hip hop. Unfortunately, he's passed away. So I do want to give my remarks to him. It seems like he's overdosed on pills. So I just want to give a message to people, especially to our black men, but this is for everybody in general. If you know anybody who is doing pills, popping pills, doing lean, hey, be a friend or a real friend and tell them to stop. Because listen, I understand getting high. Like I used to smoke weed daily. You feel me? I was cool with smoking weed and everything. And I used to drink alcohol. I don't do anything like that no more. You feel me? So I'm living a sober life. But we gotta push a more message when it comes to these pills and this lean. You gotta understand it's affecting your health more do you know, and you don't know a dosage that you can take that doesn't, you know what I mean, eventually you may pass away from it. So just a real conversation with you guys, be a real friend and give people real advice. And I'm a hard truth person. So I mean, I'm just an honest person too. You can't be my friend doing something like that. I'll tell you straight up, yo, you doing some bull crap. I was about to curse, trying to keep it PG right now. But I'll try to say you doing some bull crap. You need to get your life together. You need to go ahead and I mean focus what you focus on. But that's what I think as men, you got to be real. I don't care if you got a lot of money or not. Listen, popping pills, doing lean, cut it out. It's 2026. By now, we should know by now the effects of doing drugs that kill us. You feel me? So I just want to put that message out there. Again, condolences to Tay Keith, and I'm not using him his death as an example, but that's a huge, he was a huge producer in hip hop. You feel me? One of our young talent. How much young talent we gotta lose to drugs? That's all I'm saying, yo. And that's just my message to y'all again. Hey, you do you, live your life how you see fit. But I'm just gonna be honest with you. I just give the truth. You feel me? People give me harsh criticism. People would say harsh, constructive criticism every day. So I don't want to hear that. Who's telling you, hey, don't eat that. As a diabetic, they tell me every day, don't eat that, don't drink that. You feel me? So it's people monitor everything that I do. So it's not just, you feel me, I'm being hard on somebody else because they're doing something bad, but it's an each one teach one society. And I think we just gotta be more mindful of that. So I just want to get that message out there before we get started with our topics today. All right. So we'll go with the first one. And this is a huge, topic we had on Facebook yesterday. I want to continue that conversation. And then we have a woman on. So if she feels different, that's completely okay. So I'm not sure if you've seen Joy, but yesterday I put up a post more so letting women know. It was a woman that said it. I shared it for me. It wasn't my original opinion. I just seen it. We had a woman
Mhm.
say that if she gets married, she's not changing her last name. She's getting it hyphenated. See, my response to that was women wonder why they get cheated on. Now, I didn't think it was going to be like a huge thing or anything like that. But apparently, the men, they felt more like how I felt. Yeah, like, woman, if I'm marrying you, you should change your last name. There were some women in the comments who were saying, hey, my name's already hyphenated, or if I get married, my name's gonna be hyphenated. So I'm gonna just give y'all my stance, the reason why I feel how I feel, and enjoy you give your stance on how you feel. And again, to any woman or men that's in the comments, y'all can click the link if you want to get on live and give your opinion as well. You're free to join us. This is not a restricted live; it's open to the public, so anybody could join the live. Anybody can come on and give their opinions. But listen, how I feel about that is, listen, if you're my woman, right, I'm planning to make you my wife. I'm obviously planning to be with you for a lifetime, right? So this is my stance, right? If we're in a household, there is not a mixture of names in the household. So there will be a Mr. and Mrs. Floyd. And like I gave the woman in the comments an example, why would I have a Mrs. Davis Floyd, but my son is named, last name is Floyd, my daughter last name is Floyd, everybody in the household is Floyd, but my wife has a different name than us. So I say it's a selfish, to me at least, from a man's perspective, it's a selfish thing. From a woman, it's an ego thing where you don't want to give up, I guess, your last name. You have family pride. But at the end of the day, if we're just going off of history and tradition, I mean, people say it's not a black tradition, or, however you want to go about it. Listen, I can't speak to that because all I know is that my dad and my stepmom are married. They have the same last name. You feel me? Just that's what I know. So I'm just going off the household that I grew up with. If you decide to make someone your wife, she should change your last name. You feel me? And if I marry somebody, they don't change your last name. Guess what? What Usher say? I'm ready to sign them papers. Hey, on papers. You can go ahead and kick the door and go ahead and kick rocks. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, it's no hard feelings. I'm just an honest person. But that's my thoughts on it. Women, change your last name. Stop being difficult. You want to get married and all this stuff. Why are you being difficult when you find your Prince Charming? You find somebody who want to spend, like, I mean,
Mhm.
I ain't gonna say what I was about to say because it's gonna sound like I'm coming at. I ain't gonna come at nobody. You feel me? I ain't
Mhm.
gonna say it, but I'm just letting y'all know. Don't make things difficult. You feel me? Some men are gonna be cool with it. Hey, if
So
your
why is
husband
your
is cool with
legacy
it,
more important than mine? Is what I'm really about to get at. Because you keep going on and on and on and on and on about men, 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 men. And I just want to know why your legacy is more important than mine, and why your lineage is more important than mine. Is what I'm trying to figure out.
are you gonna change? Am I supposed to change my last name?
Nobody asked that.
So why
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 can't the
can't
whole
be why
house
can't
be
it just be
Why
why
can't the
can't
whole
it be
house
a
be
union?
hyphenated?
That's what I'm saying. Is the male gonna change his last name?
Why can't the whole house be hyphenated?
Hold on. I gotta make the chat bigger. I can see this. Go ahead, Joy.
Well,
Give your
why
thoughts.
can't the whole house be hyphenated? If it's that big of a deal for everybody to have the whole name, right? Because for you, it's everybody needs to have the matching, right?
Yeah.
So why can't the whole house be hyphenated? Like, why aren't you? Why is your pride so big that you can't compromise if you love her that much? Why
That's a
is
good
the
question.
name the thought process of, oh, you're getting cheated on? Like, why is that? I'm just curious.
Well, I'm gonna just tell y'all from experience. And look, it's not me. When I say experience, it's not my personal experience. So you know what I'm saying? I'll use my job as an example. So I seen women in there, you know what I'm saying, who are married. They can have their husband last name and they still throwing it. So I'm not saying just because she don't change her last name that she's not gonna be out there cheating. My
Okay,
standpoint is literally this: is that when they refer to me and my wife, I just rather be Mr. and Mrs. Floyd and not Mr. and Mrs. Davis Floyd
but
because you
that's
want to
not
be
a
the
big
eyeball.
thing
It's a
because they're
big
still
thing
gonna
for
call you
me.
Floyd.
No, they don't do
That's
that.
not
No,
a thing.
they
That's
go they
not a
going
thing
by
at
her name.
all.
Her name would be
That
Mrs. Davis Floyd. I'm just cool off that. You feel me? I just rather her have the Floyd last name. That's all I'm saying.
she
And if she
does.
disagrees,
She
that's her.
does.
But
But why does her identity have to go? Because
because I took her
y'all
hand in
not married.
marriage. Hey,
Okay,
you know what I mean? I took her
fair,
hand in marriage and I'm taking care. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if I'm making
fair.
you my wife, I'm trying to put you in a soft life. I ain't trying to say it's probably be a 90-10 rule. You feel me? Like I'll take care of 90% of the things and you got the other 10%. So if that's our deal when we agreed to get married, because I asked you to be my wife, I'm saying I actually marry me. I'm giving you an engagement ring. So you already know my stance point on marriage. So don't wait till we get married and then say, oh, I don't want to legally change my okay, hold on. In section, I mean, I'm gonna bring the contract up because sometimes you gotta have things legally written down. Go ahead, Joy. What's your question? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna let you finish. Go ahead, finish. My hand
No,
is
I'm
just
just,
up. So
you know what
when
I'm
you're
saying?
done,
But that's my standpoint. It's like I'm already in my mind, I'm putting in a picture like, all right, we gonna have a unified household. I'm not in here with a dictatorship. I'm literally trying to make you my partner. You feel me? So if I'm willing to ask you to be my wife, that means I'm willing to ask you to be a part of my life for the rest of the time being here. You feel me? So we'll be to me, I'm looking at a union standpoint. I just rather my wife have my last name and not a hyphenated last name. Now, if she's a doctor or if it's like a business or something in that regards, then I can understand it. But if you ain't in one of those fields, I don't want to hear Jack. You know what I mean? Hey, just cut it short. Don't be. You live your whole life to be find a husband, but you finally got somebody that wants to make you their husband, and
that's
now and
crazy.
now you being difficult with this. That's the last name change.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. First off, you live your whole life to find a husband. That's that.
That's a
Let's
fact.
just go
Yep.
there.
Women do
Mal,
live
come
their
on,
whole,
yo.
maybe
Nah.
not you, but women do live their
Uh-uh.
whole life to be a
Mm-mm.
wife. That's a fact. That's a
Mm-mm.
fact.
Mm-mm.
They wake up.
Mm-mm.
I can't wait for
See,
the
and I
farm.
think that's
I'm
the
just saying, it's
problem
a
because
fact.
you're so brainwashed. This goes back to the cycle because you're so
Oh,
brainwashed. You let the white man tell you that
yo,
marriage
not
is
the
the
white man.
epitome of all of all be all. Because if
Hmm.
you really think about it, the name change went back to we're one because guess what? I couldn't own anything, so I needed to be part of you so
Hmm.
that I could do something. But that's not how it is nowadays. So if I Joy Rutland decide I meet this man and he wants to give me his last name, cool. Guess what? My father's dead. My son is the only person that could take on my let you feel me
Hmm.
send my name any further. In this aspect, it's like very much given I'm going to be a hyphenated person because I'm the youngest Rutland.
Hmm.
Like from here, and
Yeah.
then there's my son, you feel what I'm saying? And who's saying that he's going to have kids? Because if he's smart, he will look at the world and be like, nah, this ain't what I'm signing up for, you feel what I'm
Oh,
saying?
you don't want your son to have kids?
I want him to live his life.
Oh man.
I want him
Yeah.
to live his life
Yeah.
according to what he wants to do.
Okay.
I'm not. It's not my say for him to have kids. If he doesn't want to have kids, he doesn't have to have kids.
Mm.
I can't put any projections onto what he wants to do with his life. I'm just here to
Respect.
support him. Whatever he wants to do is what he wants to do. If he wants to have kids, that's on him. You feel what I'm
Mm.
saying? Hey, he may be like, I don't want them. He may say, yes, I want 17 of them. Who
Right.
knows?
Hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? But that's his thought process. But I definitely want him to live his life first
Right. And
before he
honestly, I'm not
even
gonna
thinks
hold you.
about that.
So, and I shout out to Josh. Appreciate you, your comment. He said, I do see her reasoning. No, and again, I think women have a better reasoning behind what like their stance, their point of view behind this. There is better
But
reasoning
I wasn't done.
and
I just
logic.
want you
Oh,
to
go ahead,
know.
go ahead, go ahead. You can keep
I
going.
wasn't done.
All right, well, go ahead.
So
I'll let you
beyond
finish
the
your point.
fact
My
of the
bad.
miseducation,
Uh
right?
huh.
So why is it that if you know Hispanic people, they have both parents' last names.
Yeah,
The
I'm not
kids have
Hispanic.
both parents.
I'm,
Hey, that's fine.
I mean,
So why is your ideology coming from what the white man gave us then? If that's the
look,
case,
I again,
hey,
I'm only raised in America. You feel me? I'm not Hispanic, and again, I'm going off of my household. We all had the same last name, so I can't speak on anything else. And that's how we got, and that's what we spoke about last week. You go on what your household teaches you, and then you go out in the world. Well, that's how I was raised. If you're gonna ask a woman to be your wife, she should be willing to take your last name. And if she it doesn't, then y'all shouldn't be married. That's just as
oh,
simple as it is. So I
okay.
have my principles and you may have your principles. But again, I think that's why it should be a conversation before you get to that point in time of actually
I
getting married.
definitely agree with that
You feel
too
me?
because I
Yeah.
don't think that right. So I think that there's a happy medium. It's just really up to the man, right? Is your pride that big that your wife is walking around with two names instead of just yours? Are you really that upset?
Hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's also about like, do you give me the security to know that this will be my name forever? You feel what I'm saying?
That's
In
also
those
another question.
situations.
Yeah.
So there are many things that run through a woman's head when you think about changing your name because
But
at
she
the
ain't
end
say
of
that
the
when
day,
we was paying for the wedding, right? Like, you feel me? Like, hold on. I'm
but
spending
there
30
should have been
racks
a
on average for
conversation
a wedding.
prior to. It should have been a
Man, like
conversation prior to. That's
some
all
women be
I'm
like,
saying.
yeah, I'll change my name. Then it actually happens, and you know what I mean? You gotta actually do the legal documents. It may stop there. You feel me? So you heard somebody like they more people like that go along, like not go along, but like you may really feel like, yes, I want to be with him, I want to be with her forever. Then you actually get married. You could be newly married and just automatically be like, you can have doubts after that. You feel me? I've seen it happen. I'm just saying it's not the most
Doubts about
unforeseen
changing
thing.
your
You feel me?
name.
Doubts about changing your name, the marriage in general. Do you even want to be married anymore? Some people just like
Well, I
thought
don't
like,
think that a name
yeah,
changes matter of whether you want to be married or not, but also it's just a matter of right the foundation. Every relationship should not be rushed. It shouldn't be things where people think, oh, okay, this is what I have to do. We should make the
mm,
decision. First off, marriage is a lifelong commitment. Me personally, I think that just like Tiny is in the chat. She's
are
really
you
going
serious?
in on what I'm saying. She's very
Yeah.
much on the same wavelength. It's very much about the thought process, and if we're going to talk about the education of black people and the miseducation of black people, we have to understand where everything was given to us.
Mm,
Everything that we live by runs off of the white inferiority,
mm,
because they cannot be they here I go again. They do not like being just as mediocre as they are.
correct.
So they will give something to another person to sabotage them,
Mm,
and in all actuality knowing it is wrong
right.
completely. So it's creating chaos amongst the group, because that's what it was designed to do. Because
Mm,
now one person is stuck on this thought versus everybody else who is thinking individualistically about what else it could be, because
mm.
we're scared to go against the grain. And that's really what the problem is. It's all I feel like you should never be able to comment on if me and my man are going to change our names. You feel what I'm
Well,
saying? Because
why
it has
not? You
nothing
can
to do
comment about
with
everything
you.
else in the world. Why not?
Sure, but it
Hey,
has nothing
freedom
to
of
do with you, and
opinion.
you would never understand it, because at the end of the day, that's a conversation between him and I
Mm,
that you wouldn't know about. So on your side, you're like, "Oh, she didn't change your name, dog," and and in his mind, he's like, "Nah, I." Do you know who I married? That's Joy Rutland. Like, you feel me? Her name ring bells. So
mm.
I want her to keep that name.
Well, that's why I said, listen, if
But
it
then
was
she
that,
also has
if your
my
name
name.
is your identity, then for all be it. But not every woman and not every man has that. My name holds that weight. You feel me? So if it ain't that, like I say, if she's not a doctor, uh, I guess a business or something like that, you feel me? Where her name is that important for her career, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And then also, it's not just us taking it from the white people. I mean, I know I'm gonna say Africans like that, but I know Africans who their parents get married, they I mean take their dad's last name, or they all have their dad's last name, and it's not a hyphenated name. So they're not from America. They could be from a whole, you know what I mean? Not just Africa, the continent, but like it could be Ghana, Nigeria, you feel me? Cameroon, you know what I'm saying? So there's Africans out there who have the same last name from the same, you know what I mean? They don't have a hyphenated last name. And then sometimes, so for kids, you could give them like the middle name could be the mom's last name, and then their last name could be the dad's name. You feel me? So it could work that way. It doesn't have to be a hyphen in the name. So I'm not saying the mom's name has to be completely erased or her whole family history is taken away. No, I'm not saying that. So like there's workarounds around it. I just felt like, but the post that I seen, so that's what I was commenting on. If a woman's gonna say, I'm not marrying you because I want my name hyphenated, I'm just gonna look at it like, I don't know. Hey, it's not my wife, so I could care too less about the relationship
But it
itself.
also has to
But it
fit.
just the reason behind it. Like, all right, you tell me your reason. I'm gonna hear you out. All right, it's pretty. If the logic sounds good, I'm not gonna argue how you feel. I'm just gonna hear you out, and I'm gonna just say respectfully, I disagree. But at the end of
So
the
you're
day,
not even gonna. So even if it's a valid argument, you're not even gonna. So you're willing to. So let me. I just want to be clear, because
uh,
what I'm hearing you say is that no matter what she says, you're not willing to budge.
oh, if it's my woman, oh yeah, I'm not budging. As I said, if it was my homeboy and his girl, hey, bro, by all means, I wish y'all the best of y'all union, your best of y'all marriage. Now, I'm not saying she's cheating because she won't change her last name. But if there's a hesitant, if she want to hyphenate, so she's still willing to take your last name. So there's no issue there. But if she wants to hyphenate it, I just feel like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to creep any doubt because again, I want them to be successful. So again, when I say, oh, if she gonna cheat on you, it could be more like in a joking, I mean, in a way. So that's how you know me. That's how I talk. You feel me? But if I'm being like sitting down, logical, we sitting down talking about real shit, then I'll be honest. Like, hey, you got a good woman. If she treating you right, she doing anything right by you, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Correct. But if she doing, you know what I'm saying, BS, oh yeah, for sure. If she was doing BS while y'all was in a relationship, you still ask her to marry you, and then she come up with this out of nowhere. Oh, I want to hyphenate my name. Oh yeah, boy, you already know she. You better get ready. Even they say get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So that's
I
how I
just
look
feel
at
like
it.
that is the furthest from. I don't know, because actually, I don't know. I'm bad on relationship advice. Don't listen to me.
I just be honest with your advice. I tell somebody
And I'm
straight up.
just
If
saying,
you ain't doing X, Y, and Z, then hey, it don't always result back to cheating though. I again,
it doesn't.
like cheating is a real like broad topic for people, but real like all jokes aside though, if I'm being like dead serious, if one of my peoples is marrying somebody and they felt a certain way about it, I would just say is your relationship worth it? Is the marriage worth it? And if it is, then it's maybe something you have to overlook. And if it's not anything that's going to implicate like any taxes or wills or like, you know what I'm saying, something's happen to you, something's happen to her. If it don't happen, if it doesn't, affect anything there legally, then I guess it's not really an issue. So if he being like serious about it, if it doesn't affect anything legally, because I wouldn't know, because I'm not married to somebody who wants to do this. So if she told me that you got a cousin, like what are we talking about here, bro?
Well,
Like what are you
for
talking
me
about?
personally, with what today's have what happened in today's world and us being able
Uh-huh.
to lose our rights and stuff, I wouldn't dare. And I don't think that is a good idea, right? Because
Damn, I'm not drinking.
they're taking voters' rights
Yeah.
because you can't get something that doesn't have that you wouldn't have access to. Specifically why? Because your name doesn't look the same as it does on your birth certificate. So if
Mm.
we really talk about what is really going on in the world,
They
that's
say
still your
name, don't change
stance.
name.
What if your wife does can't vote anymore because now she changed her name and she can't get her access to her stuff? So now you've
Oh
taken one
man.
black person out of the voting population now.
Well,
Did
you
we
know
think
me.
about that?
Oh,
And
don't ask
did
me
we
about
think
voting.
about that? Because everything is really all connected.
Yeah, don't ask me about voting because I already tell you the system ain't meant for you anyway. So you sitting there voting, they already telling you about how they feel about y'all. And what Joe Biden say, you don't vote for me, you not black. And then you got Trump empowering white people on their end. So I already said that right then and there. You choosing between a party and a party. You feel me? They both work. They came from the same colleges, respectfully. They study the same law, respectfully. So they don't have your best interest at heart at the end of the day. And I mean, it is important for you to vote on your local elections. But I just feel like nationwide, you feel me? You kind of picking between who they play as candidates out there. So that's my opinion on it. But again, if you want to go that route as far as voting go, exercise your right as a citizen in America, and you should take place in voting. Yes, and understand the policy and stuff that you are voting for. But like the same people who are voting for the person we got in office now are the same people who are now affected by his same policies. You feel me? So you may vote for somebody that at the time being when they're going for a campaign, that's what it is. It's to get you to vote for them. So the propaganda they pushing out from the advertising, from the media, from everything they pushing out to you to get you to vote for them, it may completely change once they actually get in office. So I know the people who work for the federal government that voted for Trump probably never would have thought they'd be dealing with a damn like a workforce stoppage or jobs being laid off. That wasn't mentioned when they were voting for him at first. You feel me? Or if it was, they didn't think their department per se would be affected by it. So sometimes you don't know who you voting for until they actually get into office. So I'm just saying like that. I
So
can't.
you're
I
giving people the reason to be illiterate and uneducated, is what you're
no.
saying.
I'm
Because
saying like I
I
said, you
mean,
should understand their policy, but I don't know. Mm,
ignorance is there, right?
mm,
Because you just justify ignorance,
yeah. You think I
just not
justified
being
it?
able to know. You don't know. You don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
It was inevitable. It wasn't like this is the first time you met him. It
Mm,
wasn't like he wasn't out in it. Hey, but we're not doing politics tonight. All I'm saying is any man
yeah.
that is not willing to even logically think about the thought process of today's world and how it would affect me as a woman, I kind of don't get with it. I just feel
Mm,
like it's unfair and it's a conversation that should be had between spouses before it's a
correct. Oh yeah.
decision that's made, right? Because
Mm,
for me, I feel both ways, right? It's
yeah.
like if I'm gonna relocate, I don't care. I can change my name. You feel me? But if I'm gonna stay in Delaware, y'all need to know who I am, right? Because if I show up as Joy something else, people are like, "Who's that?" You feel what
Mm.
I'm saying? They know Joy Rutland.
Oh, so for you, if okay, so they're like, we gonna move out to like Vermont or like California or something. You gonna be cool with changing last name? It's no
Yeah,
real
that
issue.
like I don't mind
All
because
right, respect. I can see. I can
I
respect that.
don't have an
That's a valid
identity
answer.
out there. I'm somebody different. You feel what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? But if I'm gonna be where I came from, y'all gonna know me as exactly who I am.
All right.
Because you're gonna right, because it's just about the thought process. People don't see you as who you were, who they can't see you past who you were, right? So if I change and I'm Joy somebody else's last name, people are going to try to figure out who I am, and then it's going to be a whole big thing. You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying? So it's like, why
Right.
not just hyphenate it at that point? But
Nah,
also
respect.
at any point, even if it is hyphenated, you could just go by one.
But that's the thing. I see. I don't know because again, I ain't putting up with it. I just know for me, at the end of the day, it's just gonna be like it's gonna be that conversation. But for me, I'll probably have that conversation on the first date and not when I'm about to ask her to be my wife. You feel me? I would ask that That's a question you gotta
You
ask
would
on the
already
first date.
know that before you even get down on your knee what she's willing to do. You feel what I'm saying? Because you
Mm,
would have had that conversation. But
yeah.
hey, that's another conversation for another day.
And not real rap. Well, what you think about the woman proposing to men? You think that's still gonna be going on for a long time, or you think that's
I don't know, Kamal. I don't know. I
uh
don't know. I don't get into them kind of businesses. That ain't my stilo.
like
I don't know.
yo, I be seeing some funny stuff on social media. I'm sorry, y'all, but that stuff is really funny to me.
Women proposing to men is kind of crazy. I would think a
So
little bit.
the women trying to fill the men's shoes and the men want to fill the women's shoes. You feel me? The men start pay. All right, you know what? I ain't gonna go. I'm not gonna go on a tangent tonight, y'all, because
Bedazzled. We were
I feel like a real
bedazzled over
certain
the
way.
weekend.
Yeah, like you feel me? I'm gonna get my
I
nails
saw
done
a
with the
lot of
fellas. Like, what are we
bedazzled over
talking?
the weekend.
You said what?
I saw a lot of bedazzled and crops over the
Oh, like the
weekend.
reggae. How was that? Oh, you went to the reggae fest?
I did not go. I went to see Dave Chappelle.
They had bedazzled men on the Dave Chappelle show.
They did have bedazzled men and Dave Chappelle.
Isn't he like anti?
I don't know. I seen Dorothy. I see
Well,
some
it's a comedy show,
bedazzled.
so they already know that they going to see his comedy show. So I respectfully, I probably if I'm not part of that crowd, so I can't speak to that.
Well,
So
it was
yeah,
a very great show.
yeah, I'm pretty sure Dave Chappelle, legend. I already know he was killing it.
Funny,
You feel me?
funny, funny, funny.
Yeah. So let's that was a good conversation. And again, I respectfully don't agree with. Now I'm saying that reason if it's my woman, but like Joyce said, it's between two spouses, and no, that's completely correct. So I would never I don't involve myself with I'm saying my brothers and him as Vince. I wouldn't even do that. You feel me? So if it's one of my friends, like I said, hey, bro, I wish y'all the best in y'all union, in your marriage. You feel me? If you feel a certain way, maybe you need a therapist or something, but don't come to me about relationship advice because I'm gonna just tell you the truth. You may not want to hear the truth. So, and I'm not saying again,
But I
it's
was
not.
going to tell you his truth, not the truth.
Yeah,
He's
you
going to
feel
tell
me?
you what he
I'm gonna tell you.
thinks.
I'm gonna tell you what I think, and it may not be your cup of tea for me. And again, it doesn't always have to result back to cheating. I'm just gonna be like, who wear the pants in a relationship? Her or you? You feel me? That's all right. Yeah,
Wow.
that's see. I'm gonna ask those type questions. Like, yo, does she get dressed up in the morning to go to work, or are you the one getting dressed up in the morning to go to work? You feel me? Do you want
But
her
what
to
if
have?
she is the one? Now, just
Oh, but
asking, what if she is the one?
she makes more than him. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, look, I date somebody who make more than me. By all means, you know what I'm saying? But
I'm not saying that. I said, what if?
oh, he doesn't work or something like that. Like he's a stay at home dad.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not wrong being a stay at home. Look, fellas, listen. If you find a woman who's trying to take care of your life, I'm gonna tell you right now,
Now,
by all
shut
means,
up.
do that. because who wants to get up every day, gotta work 8 hours? If my wife is like, honey, you can stay home today, you know what I'm doing? Yo, fellas, we're on the K. Baby, I'm streaming
Yo,
today. I'm streaming. That's all you gotta do. Go say you streaming. You ain't even gotta hit
bro,
live. Just say you streaming. She don't know.
I'm
She at work. But listen,
hollering.
I'm just saying. I know. Look, I know women who make more than men. So it's never really about economics or anything like that. You feel me? Because it's a household, y'all. Like I say, it's a joint partnership. So don't. I'm not against marriage. I'm not saying don't get married. Or anything. I'm not pushing that message. I'm literally saying I just think we should be a unified partnership. I'd rather my partner had the same last name as me because my kids gonna have the same last. Well, it's different for me because my family's gonna be blended. So but I have a rule though. I can't date a woman with a child. So you feel me? And somebody's like, but don't you have a kid? I'm like, exactly. I gotta bring, you know what I mean? But not everybody's like that. I grew up with a step parent, so it's not like I don't have like you feel me? It's nothing wrong with that. You feel me? I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying for me personally, like it's not a control thing. I just like rather like it's a certain schedule thing. You feel me? Like I like to do what I like to do, and then when I'm ready to, if I want to cut ties, I want to just cut ties, and you got a little man or a little one. You know what I mean? Like so it's hard to cut ties with you at that point in time. If it came to that. But again, we ain't pushing that tonight. We pushing positivity and I mean unity. So I'm just saying it's a double standard, yeah, but it's my standard. So that's why I say you do what fits best in your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? These are topics that we gotta have and conversations we gotta have though. Cause like Joyce said, a lot of us are either I don't say illiterate, but we could be uninformed about certain topics. You feel me? So let's have these conversations, engage in it, and it may change your thought process. You could be thinking like me, but then you can hear a woman's perspective and be like, yeah, she got a valid point. That's why I said is but you gotta have these conversations in order to grow as a community. So, great conversation to start off with, and I'm glad we both got our points across. So we'll move on to the next topic, y'all, and we're going to speak on uh the home ownership crisis in America. So I don't know if you guys ever try to go through the process of buying a home or understand how hard it is to actually get a home or obtain a home in America, but it is completely difficult. So we'll use numbers, and these are I had concrete numbers, but again, I don't want to keep referring back to my phone and going at notes at a time. So we'll just start right here, right? So
Your
let's see
phone
on
that's dinging.
what happened. Is that
Your
my
phone that's dinging.
you can hear that?
Duh.
I know that's my computer. This is the group chat right now. They're let's mute it on my phone, but on my Mac Mini, it's coming through the speaker. So that's what you hear that
Mm.
ding. So let me just mute the group chat real quick on my computer because obviously the fellas they talking about gun
They
ownership.
not talking about the screen. They not on the
They're
stream.
not on the stream right now. Now they talking about owning
They need
guns
to
and
engage in the
what next gun
stream.
they're
That's what
buying and
they
stuff
need
like
to
that.
do.
We pushing pro Second Amendments over here, y'all. You feel me? So strap up and stay secure. I'm tripping. My bad. Legally strap up. Let me say it like this: legally strap up in
How about you
America.
tell them to join the stream since they're chatting away?
Nah, it's cool. Like, I don't force nobody to do that. You feel me? You can't force people to join the stream. I'll send it to them. No, I'll actually let me tell them to get on real quick. See if they
They're
want to
chatting
hop on.
away in the group chat. They got something to say.
Yeah, hold on. Let me send a live real quick, yo. Hold on. I'm about to send a voice message. I ain't gonna do that.
Anyway, but what's our next topic?
Oh yeah, my bad. The home ownership crisis in America. Basically, we're speaking on the difficulty of the average American obtaining a home, the home buying process, number one, and then also the age. So, on average, it's been up about 5 to 10 years on average age in America on who can actually attain a home. So, at one point in time, I think before COVID or either during COVID or prior to COVID, numbers could be a little off. Let's see, on average, the average age was 30 when they were buying a home in America. Now it's then bumped all the way up to the average age of 40 of buying the age in America. First time home buyer, guys. So we're not talking about this is your second or third purchase of a home. We're talking about the first time home buyer. Average age in America is now 40 years old. So just think about that. That just lets you know the economic place of reality in America. It could be due to inflation. But I kind of want to get you guys started. How's your experience been if you tried to buy a home? But I know for me personally, like they were like, "Yo, we couldn't give you a pre-qualifying offer for this amount." I think mine's was like 175,000 at the time. You feel me? So it's like can't really do much like that in Delaware because everything done went up. So instead of, you know what I'm saying, sitting there with my hands tied, like, damn, I can't even buy a crib I really wanted to right now. My brain automatically went to thinking, well, my brain and obviously with my dad and other people involved, our way of thinking was, well, how do we increase the income to qualify for a higher mortgage amount? You feel me? So I didn't let that. It's not a denial because I still got pre-approved. So credit is going up. You know what I'm saying? The income is going to go up. So that initial offer, and I'm being transparent with you guys, can now be even higher as long as I start adding income or, you know what I'm saying, doing better at the job, get a no higher paying job, or, well, I don't want to work for an employer no more because I don't like that we're at will state. And you could be at the helm of someone saying, hey, do you mind just stepping out for me today? I just don't want to be there. I'm going to play the game as much as I got to play it. You feel me? To get to where I got to get to, especially in this country. It's all about taking advantage out of, I don't want to say the system. Yeah, you got to take advantage of the system, guys. So learn to play the game. So that's why it's also a conversation of code switching. So the home ownership and code switching to me are going to kind of be tied hand in hand, but it could be. But Joy, what do you think about the home ownership crisis? Also in the chat, if you're in the chat, make sure you leave a like on the stream, share the stream out. And also comment your opinion as well. Are you guys experiencing home ownership crisis as well, or do you know the process, or how's the process been for you?
So I recently purchased my home,
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty stressful process because I had to keep going back and forth, um, trying to figure out what it was. So initially, it was the lender that was not necessarily advising me properly, right? Because if you get a pre-approval and you say, "Hey, I want more money. What can I
Mhm.
do to get my credit right to where I get more money?" and they give you a non-answer because they don't actually know they don't actually know.
Right.
It gets kind of, there's a mosquito in my house and I can see it, but
It's
nothing.
attacking the mosquitoes. You know, they say they send over mosquitoes to what was it, the male mosquitoes to take care of the female mosquitoes.
I don't know, but I killed it either way.
Oh man, they say it's a
I,
mosquito crisis out here, man.
I don't know. I killed it either way.
Like the stink
But
bug crisis a couple years ago. That was crazy itself. All right, my bad, my bad. I'm getting sidetracked. My bad. But go ahead, Joy. Finish up
but
what you
so
were saying.
initially when I got my pre-approval, I was like, okay, this is how much I'm gonna pay, whatever,
Mhm.
whatever. So thankfully I owned a portion of the house, or it
Mm,
probably would have been a little harder of a process. I
mm,
did put in an offer on another house, and I got my pre-approval based off of, the house that I was trying to purchase. But in my mind, I would have just continued to sit
mm,
with my pre-approval, or to have found a foreclosure that I could have fixed up and got
right.
one a different type of loan that would allow me to roll the the remodel into the mortgage.
Mm,
Or I would have gone with a USDA loan and lived in a rural place, right? It's really all about what the programs are, because home ownership is not unattainable. It's just about what resources you have access to.
right, right,
Everybody,
right.
nobody knows about the NACA program where you don't have to put any money down, right?
Mm,
But so it's just a matter of going through programs and figuring out what works for you and the best thing that works for your family. But
facts.
most people don't go through the thought process. They just sit around and let other people say, oh, it's unattainable, unattainable.
Mm,
And oh, as society is showing that um the average age is going up for home ownership, that doesn't necessarily change that people are still buying houses at 30. People are still buying houses in their 20s, because everybody's not conditioned to think that home ownership is unattainable.
right.
Right. So now that we're getting into the millennials raising children, the millennials are putting money for their kids. The millennials are buying properties for their kids. So home ownership may not be unattainable for the next generation. It's just about how it was how it could potentially be, right? Because all the boomers were giving money, and there were retirements, and there were pensions, and there were things where people were giving money to buy their houses, right? But I guess for me, and this is a really long-winded answer, but I guess for me, I watched my father buy a foreclosure and fix it up. So this house that I live in was a foreclosure initially, right? And I found the papers for how much he paid for the house when he first initially bought it, right? And I see how the property has doubled since
Mm,
purchase, and we're almost at a triple since purchase. So
yeah,
for me, I
the
don't think
value of
that
the
home
house is going up,
ownership is
correct?
not a thing that can't be attained. It's just about what you talk, who you talk to, and what, like.
No, that's facts. And like to your point, it's definitely I that's a great point you mentioned. It's definitely about positioning from your family. So it's very important. That's why I think it's very important for us to be serious about what we choose to do as a career and what we choose to really invest our money in. You feel me? So yes, we speak about the home ownership crisis in America and how hard it is for us to get it, but we also need to speak on how much are we really putting into the focus in our on our finances. So number one is to make sure you qualify for credit wise. So make sure you take care of your credit. Not collections, take care of your collections. If you got debt, start paying your debt down to get your debt to income ratio lower. You feel me? So those are important things to start before you even start the process. And then so that's I guess that would be number one. Number two is to see what assets you can get from family. So that's why you see certain families able to advance a lot faster or attain property faster. They're pulling their resources together. So and especially in America, and this could be again with we speak on the white man's mindset of adopting a mindset that's not beneficial for your household. The identity of pushing people out at 18 years old. And if your kid is 18, you're like, you go to college and you do what you need to do. But if the average, college graduate, they're coming out with a lot of debt, then they're trying to get an apartment, they're trying to get a car. You feel me? So they're attaining already debt on their name. So if they were to live at home for about another couple of years post graduation, take time to start paying their debt down, take time to actually start saving money. And you're not dishing out, let's say on average rent is $1,500. Think about it. If you were spending $500 on rent to help your family out, that's $1,000 that could be potentially being saved a month. Now we understand that because you aren't paying a $1,500 in rent, that extra $1,000 technically isn't going to be saved because we have everybody has a vice they can spend money on, and then we got bad spending habits just in general because we see things that we want. Oh, I got money today, so I'm gonna
But
spend that
why do
money
you have
today.
bad spending habits? Because you weren't taught? Because you didn't practice?
I don't know people's a reason for their, but I can't make it again. I'm making no excuse for nobody. So I'll say for me, like I would move my money as far as like, what I'm saying? We were having talks, they'll have your money sitting all one place. Make sure you open up different bank accounts. So Joy has she actually helped me out with that process as far as doing that. So I took her advice, did that. And then also, you know what I'm saying? Um, Hey, if you got a 401k at your job, you could be using that to help you out during that. Hey, I'm just giving you, listen, there's things in time where people say don't touch this for a reason, but they're telling you not to touch money because, they can be scared of taking risk. So you feel me? Sometimes you gotta take risks. You gotta, in a quote unquote, lose money to make money. Sometimes you gotta invest the money. It may lose short term, but long term it can make you money in the long run. You feel me? So having your money in certain spots to make more money than where it's actually sitting at could be your best bet too. But I would say for me, in regards to the home ownership process, was to pull my resources together and really benefit from, I'm saying, saving money, investing into myself. At the end of the day, um, if I'm not going to have money to buy a crib at the time being, I'll start saving more money for that process. Yes, but at the same time as well, I'm going to learn how to generate more money. How can I make more money than what I'm already doing? Yeah, I got a 9 to 5. That's cool and all. But outside my 9 to 5, how am I going to generate more income in? So I got to figure out a different skill set, a different tool where that hopefully that skill set one day makes me more money than my 9 to 5, and both can raise it up. You feel me? But at the end of the day, it's all about how do you take advantage of a capitalistic economy. That's where my mindset goes. So if I'm struggling financially, or if I don't have the amount of money that I need to do something, my brain doesn't automatically go to blame the system. It just says, okay, hold on. There's people who are able to attain, while we're in a recession right now, there's still people buying properties and all this
There
stuff.
are.
You feel me? There's still people who are doing a lot of things. So instead of looking at the other side where we're not
Because
doing
it's
stuff,
not unobtainable, and
yeah,
that's
it's
the
not.
point. It's just a 1%. What did you do to get yourself better than what you were yesterday? That's it. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not. All right. So it really goes back to the limitation of the mindset, point blank,
Right.
period. So if what they say is what you think, then you're going to be locked down into it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never let a person tell me, when a person tell me they going to do something or I can't do something, I'm coming back with a vengeance. That's going to be my motivation every day to prove you wrong. And you've
Right.
seen it firsthand. You watched it firsthand because every day, oh, just be nice. Oh, this, oh, that. No.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the code switching now. So let's talk about that because
Yeah. The
every
code
day,
switching. The
do you
code
code
switching.
switch? Do you code switch? No, absolutely not. I'm not. You kept telling me every day, "Oh, be nice, Joy. Be nice. Just let her be great. Just let her be great. Just be nice. Just be nice." No, there's no way that somebody in charge of you is incompetent and you're just going to be cool with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now she's not lying. So I would say, so my boy Solo said on YouTube, code switching is a must. Well, Solo, if you want to expand on your thoughts on that, why don't you want to hop on a live? You could join through the link on YouTube. And I'm saying expound on those thoughts. But to your point, I think it's both. You feel me? You gotta know. So like,
Wait, please do. Please jump on. Let's talk about this code switching.
yeah, I'll
Please
send.
get on
I,
here.
hold on, let me send you the link. So if you want to join, you can. If not, it's no pressure, my boy. But listen, I'm gonna say this right. And I'm also saying the link at the same time. So I think in business you got to code switch because depending on what room you're in, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, depending on who you're doing business with, you gotta learn to, you know what I'm saying, certain rooms require certain energy, and then other rooms you gotta kind of be like, sometimes you can't always be the know-it-all person. Sometimes you gotta sit back and actually listen. So it's not technically, I guess, in a way changing who you are, but you gotta change them when you're in different environments. You gotta learn to adapt. So is code switching the same as having being adaptable to your environment?
No,
You don't think it
no.
is?
No, I think that emotional intelligence teaches you what room you go in and talk, what room you go in and be bubbly, what room you do, what room you put that pressure on, what room you hold the fire to,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because for me, if the person I was holding the fire to
Mm-hmm.
was able to spread that message that they were spreading about me, and I didn't have the interactions with everybody else in a
Mm-hmm.
different capacity, it would have actually went somewhere. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's no need to code switch because who you are as a person will show no matter what room you're in.
Mm.
Sometimes you're quiet. Everybody is like, "Oh, you don't talk." And then when you do talk, it's like, "Oh my God, you're so cool. We love you." And it's
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, but everybody doesn't deserve the ability to know who I truly am, right? Because this is not the environment for that.
That's
And I'm
good.
not
And
your friend.
no respect. And I'll tell you, I'm just bringing Solo. on. Hold on. You don't have to if you don't want to show your face, so it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna put you on stage so that maybe we can hear your audio. So just 1 second. I done put y'all on the side. Hold on, bro. Oh my gosh. Hold on, y'all. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. There, that's even. All right, so we can hear you now. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, yeah. So go ahead. We went right now. If anybody's just joining into the live, we're speaking on code switching at the workplace. We just joined. Solo just joined the live as well, so we're going to hear his thoughts on it too. Go ahead, Solo.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so I mean, I think code switching, however you want to interpret it, is necessary, right? You wouldn't talk to your pastor the same way you talk to your friends, right? Same way you wouldn't talk to your girlfriend the same way you talk to your friends, right? Or the same way you wouldn't talk to a random person versus someone who you actually know. So when you're in the workspace, you're not going to talk to your boss and say, I just like feel like we should, you know, put 10 more percent to this share into this stock. No,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to articulate yourself properly. And if you think it's coming off as code switching, then I think that kind of brings up another discussion of what do you think? Because and where I'm going with this is there's been there's a couple of times where like people will say, "Oh, you sound white," or "You talk white." No, I'm just speaking intellectually, or I'm speaking properly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a time and a place, and it could come off as code switching because you're not going to talk to your boss the same way you talk to your friends. You're going to be a lot more relaxed, and that's a form of code switching,
I don't
right?
know.
Well, why you say that?
I say it in a sense of there's a time and a place for everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're having a conversation, why isn't your pastor able to take you as who you are? Why do you need to change to have a conversation with your pastor? Because if I pick up my phone right now and I call Pastor Taylor and I say, "What's up?" He's going to talk to me every day like a regular person. Why? Because we're not having a biblical conversation. But also, we could have a biblical conversation just based off of one thing that comes in the conversation, what one word that's spoken. You get what I'm saying? So I don't feel as though I need to code switch because I am who I am.
I think it depends on relationship, though, right? I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
who you're close with, if versus like, I mean, like think about it. I don't know if you have siblings or not, but like I'll be more inclined to tell my siblings like, bro, get the fuck out of my face,
Right.
versus
That's a
like
fact. That's a
somebody
fact.
versus somebody I really don't know, you know. And still, it's still a form of switching whatever it is that you're saying, or switching your reaction, or switching what it is that you're articulating back to that person. Same
I feel
reason.
that.
Mhm.
So let me ask you, what's the difference between code switching and emotional intelligence? Because in my mind, I think it's just about reading and perceiving the environment in which you're in. I don't necessarily think it's a switch of who you are. I think it's just more about what version of you needs to be brought into that environment, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, like I think the emotional intelligence is what kind of leads into that code switching,
Mm-hmm.
to for you to be able to analyze where you're at in this certain space. Is it appropriate for me to speak like this, and is it appropriate for me not to speak like this? I think that is where you're able to kind of make some kind of I guess judgment in terms of, is this the right place and the right time for me to say this and say that?
Okay,
Like
so
I'm.
let me
Mhm,
ask,
mhm.
because I love to ask questions. So,
Yeah, Joey's funny.
do you think code switching is a lost art on the next generation?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like if I'm being completely honest, I people say I sound white all the time, bro.
Me
I mean,
too.
like all the time, and the problem is, I can tell who I'm speaking to half the time,
Mm.
and not even be able to like just look at them, right? For example, if I call a certain place of business and they say, "Hello, this is Kim," or "This is Brian," or like it's a certain kind of like tone, or a certain kind of like vernacular that they're using, you can kind of
Mm.
tell, okay, like probably not the most professional, or like probably just not really
Correct.
You know.
Because I get it too, right?
Hmm.
I grew up, the most thing people say is, "Why do you talk like that?" It's like, I don't talk like I sound like I'm educated. I went to an
Yeah.
educated school. I'm educated.
She
That's
used
it.
big words.
That's
I
that's
remember
it.
that
I'm
joint. They used
cultured,
big
like
words.
straight up. We're not in. We you don't. I don't. That's not like it, it's an insult. I get offended when people say that to me because it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, no,
You got to
I
grow
agree.
your vocabulary a little bit bigger to
No, I
say
agree.
something like that to me, because what does that mean?
Hmm.
No, I mean, I agree. I really do think that it's inevitable, like for people to. It's the same way why you wouldn't go to a workplace and cuss.
Well, I actually go to the workplace and cuss. So
I mean,
Mal sits across from me, and we get the geeky,
I mean,
right?
but you wouldn't cuss in front of your CEO. Like you wouldn't cuss in front of like your manager. I mean, you could probably cuss in front of like your colleagues and stuff like that who you're probably close with, right? It's the relationship thing, like we said earlier. But
Hmm.
like you wouldn't cuss in front of your CEO or the director or the regional director. Like you're gonna hold a certain kind of standard
I guess it
Right,
all
for
depends
because
on
certain
the
you
stuff that
workplace
hold
too.
matter.
yourself to that
Yeah.
standard regardless. And I think that, okay, so let's just put it into perspective. So, like, right, you know who you are, and you've shown up in every area as who you truly are, right? And whether it was the CEO, whether it was your boss's boss, you've always been respectful. You've always shown who you are, right? You got a
Hmm.
Right.
bubbly personality. You're hardworking. You're going to do whatever you need to do, right?
Mm.
But then you just so happen there's somebody else that they're a manager too, but you don't fool with them, right?
Hmm. Like,
And
mm.
no matter which way you try to maneuver it and have a mediator, three mediators, six mediators, have seven meetings, it doesn't get anywhere, right?
Okay.
And then they go around trying to besmirch your character, make you be whoever it is that who they want you to be,
Hmm.
but it doesn't work. And it turns around and they end up being the one that gets let go or whatever the case may be, because they're actually the hater. And you don't code switch, right?
Okay.
Because initially you were trying to be who you were, have a conversation, you tried to, do what you do, get a mediator, try to make it all copacetic. Then you realize, okay, this isn't going anywhere.
Okay. Look, I think if I'm being completely honest, I feel like we're just like
Two
trying to
different. Yeah.
really ignore the truth. In our everyday life, no matter what part of life we're in, we are doing a form of code switching. It doesn't matter where you're talking to, one friend or another, because you're not going to approach everyone the same way. Period. Even if you have a kid, you're not going to talk to your kid the same way you talk to your kid, to your friends. You're going to have to
Mm.
code switch regardless. It's literally how you're going to have to survive through this life if you're going to be able to socialize with people. We're
Well,
not
I'm
saying
really just trying
change
to
who
find
you
my
are.
other phone so I can look up the definition of code switching. That's really what I'm looking for right now.
So I mean, like you're
I mean,
gonna have
that's a good answer though. So I mean, to your point, like
I
it
agree.
depend on. I mean, like I don't really think you guys are technically disagreeing. I think where it comes into in regards to honestly, like I feel like it depends where you work at, because some environments, like I've worked at. I mean, so if you could test this, or Joy probably as well. Like depending on what job I'm at, I can go to work and actually talk how I talk to my friends like at home and how I
yeah.
talk to people at home. And then it's going to be like when what I'm saying, if I'm in corporate, I know I have the closest at work, because if I talk on how I talk, either like on a podcast or what I'm saying, or I talk on stream, oh yeah, they're gonna be like, yeah, Mal, you can't do that. Like you gotta chill out. Like when I started the job I'm at now, literally my first day, there's no exaggeration. I said the word midget, and they were like, oh, you can't say midget, you gotta say little people.
You
I'm
go
like,
to
hold on.
HR. You go
Yeah,
to
no,
HR.
bro. I already got love. It was my first meeting and everything. They were like, yeah, they had to pull me in like one of them little private side chats. We had Skype at the time. You feel me? They're like, hey, we have to talk because we want to talk about what you said in the meeting. I'm like, oh, I must have like really impressed them. They're like, you can't say the word midget. It's very offensive and blah blah blah. And that was my last and first time I ever had to talk to somebody at work, because I was like, oh yeah, listen, you guys talk about WrestleMania, and he brought up the little person. I know you're supposed to say little person, you feel me? Well, I just came from working with like mechanics. They say midget. So my bad for not knowing that. But now I realize it's like it's an offensive term. I'm like, oh, all right, like listen, when I go to work, and Joy can attest to this. They can't even hear me. They be like, "Are you even here?" I be like, "Yeah, I'm here. I just stayed. I talk to y'all. I talk to Joy.
Yep.
Obviously, that's how she's on the line with me. You feel me? So like, I'll talk to certain people, but I know for sure I close with y'all work because what I really want to say, is not going to be able to. It's not going to be perceived well at work because they're going to be like, "Yeah, you gotta reel it back in, bro." Like, so how I feel
Yeah.
on certain topics at work, or they like, hey, anybody got any thoughts or comments? Sometimes I really have certain things to say, but I know like I'm not trying to be that guy. You feel me? So I sometimes I'd be like, I'm cool, bro. Like I'm gonna just stay to myself. And they try to make people bring themselves to work. That's the slogan. And it's like, I'm not falling into that bait. You feel me? If I bring myself to work, I mean, it's not gonna be a lot of brother Mal no more. You feel me? But
Tiny, thank you.
no,
Hmm.
no, for real.
Also,
Tiny,
like,
thank you.
Oh,
She
she
put
gave
the
the
she
definition
gave
in
the
chat.
definition in chat.
Yeah, she said, hold on, I got bloated. So I gotta look real
uh,
closer. Let me,
I,
let me, let me, let me
I could read it if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't got my reading glass. I got my readers on, y'all. Give me a
yeah,
moment.
Yo,
Nah, bro, rap. I ain't
yeah,
trying to
like
laugh. I really gonna
that's
have my readers
perfect.
on. Like, my eyes not gonna be read that. Okay.
Can I add one more thing?
go
Also,
ahead.
Go ahead. Solo,
yeah.
you
So
good?
like, I, code switching is not a bad thing. Like, I don't want it to get put into like a bad light of like people getting shamed. Like, oh, like why are you trying to do this or why are you trying to code switch? Just be yourself. Code switching is a form of some form of emotional intelligence to be able to
Mm,
realize where you
I
are
agree.
and be able to make some kind of rational decision.
I
mm,
agree.
There's nothing wrong with code switching at all. At
I don't
all.
know. I feel like I think it's a little bit of both. Like I don't know. I don't think there's something wrong with it, but I also think that dumbing down your personality or dimming your light
mm-hmm.
shouldn't be.
Right.
I think
Because
I
do you change who you are when you code switch, or does it just the appearance of who you are?
right. And I think I understand actually where you're coming from now. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, are you coming from like a sense of code switching to kiss ass or code switching to actually fit
Mm-hmm.
the
Code switching to
environment?
kiss ass. Yes.
That's
Code
That's
switching to
exactly
kiss
what
ass
I'm.
is
Yeah,
yeah.
completely
that's
That's
different.
exactly
exactly where
what
I'm
she's
coming
speaking
from.
on for sure.
Yeah,
Cause
code
Correct.
switching to
yeah.
kiss ass is completely like unacceptable. But code switching to be able to you know code switching to be able to kind of realize the
Mm-hmm.
environment that you're at and be professional, I guess in a sense, and
Mm-hmm.
know when to be more relaxed and to be a little bit more conservative. So you're
Yeah.
hurting people's feelings or you're not coming off too abrasive or too harsh. There's nothing wrong with that. But if
Right.
But
you're
the
Mm-hmm.
kiss,
question is, all right. So let me ask you a question because aggressive questions are perceived as aggressive.
it depends on the question.
Yeah, because like to Tiny's point, she says the definition is code switching is the practice of alternating between two or more languages, dialects, or communication styles within a single conversation. People do this to fit into different social contexts, build rapport, or adapt to the expectations of their audience. And yo, Darius, appreciate you tuning into the stream as well. And if anybody else is new to the stream, make sure y'all leave a like, comment your opinions as well, and share it out to any of your friends who be interested in this content too. But go ahead and continue what you were going to say, Solo.
Oh no, I think I was pretty much done. But I mean,
Okay.
I just don't think that code switching should be a bad thing. But I think code switching to kiss butt or kiss ass is just completely different. I think that's just a form of
But you see that work, don't you?
it's more betrayal to your own self,
Yeah,
really.
but that's what we're speaking on. So like,
Yes, and that's the
yeah.
part why I can't do it. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
let me say, for example, right? Mal's okay with just chilling,
I ain't kissing
right?
ass though. Facts. I be
Like,
chilling.
listen, Mal's okay with chilling. We both was experiencing the same thing. Mal is just like, no, Joy, leave it alone, leave it alone, leave it alone. And I'm like, no, because I'm just that type of person. Like, no, we're gonna take care of this because this needs to be resolved, right?
It depends. It depends what it is, though. That's why sometimes you need to
All
have that
right.
kind of like thought of, okay, like, is this the right time and place for me to do this? And you might have to code switch depending on what the scenario is. You're not gonna go to someone and say, hey, like, this guy's pissing me off. No, you're probably not gonna do that. You probably, depending on who it is that you're talking to, you're probably not gonna do that. You're probably gonna say, hey, I have a certain issue with a certain employee, and I would love your opinion about it. Not say, this guy's been pissing me off. Like, what are we about to do about this? It really just it just depends, and it's not dimming who you are.
I
Like
mean,
the
I
feeling
feel
is so
like
valid.
right. So the thing that I was having was a moral dilemma, right? Because
Mhm.
it kind of goes to the whole thought process of white inferiority.
Facts.
So
Yeah, see, when you
just
speak
be
from experience, is that's why like this is a good conversation because to like Solo's point, it could be like you close to 15 people, blah blah blah. Yes. But then it's also a point in time where like you know what I'm saying, like Joy is speaking and referring to, it could be your own personal experience that's really like that it hinders you from doing so, or your experience with it didn't work well. You feel me? So that's why I think both of your guys' points are valid. It's not really like a right or wrong in regards. It's mainly like there's different there's pros and cons to it. You feel me? Like anything else in this world, you're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad side of it, you know. So Joy, I'll let you finish up and then we'll go on to the next topic that we have on hand, guys.
so like for me, like I was saying, so like my experience was I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried, and then I was the new person coming in. So like you feel me? I went to Mal to try to like get a thought process because like maybe I'm tripping. But then it turns out that I wasn't tripping. Everybody else was feeling the same way. Nobody just wanted to open their mouth and say anything about it.
I
So
mean,
it's like if nobody's going to be the one to do something about it, who's going to be speaking up? Because do you continue to code switch and everybody's just going to fit in and everything's going to? I'm not going to be on a sinking ship because everybody else is refusing to open their mouth.
but that's different though. It's not code switching.
Well, that was the experience. So what? Where are all these bugs coming from?
That's
Well, but-
just people refusing not to say anything.
It's raining. Well, no. So
There's a million ways to say yes.
how am I going to say
it's a
this? So
million.
like Mal was having the same issue, right?
Uh-huh.
It's so
And because Mal will not open his mouth because he doesn't want them to think about him in a different way. Like Mal doesn't want them to see his real personality, right? Because when I tell them that Mal's will stand on a soapbox, they was like, "Come on, no way." So
that
in
is how
my
people don't know how
mind,
to talk,
it's
bro. That's a
like
fact.
he doesn't want you guys to see him like that. But in my mind,
Yeah.
letting the person
You wanna say hi?
be part of letting the person be great was going against everything inside of me, right?
Mhm.
Because
Mm.
if somebody tells me the sky's purple and I'm looking at the sky and I know it's blue, and you're trying to force this down my throat for 6 months and expecting me not to say anything, it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm not going to sit here and keep being gaslit all day, every day. Somebody has to say something.
I mean, yeah, you communicate it, right? But you figure out what the actual situation is, and you communicate it based off what the situation gives to you.
But
Mhm.
what if the
Now,
situation doesn't give you like there? What if you've exhausted all options with the resolution, and that was what, like, you went to this person, you went to that person, you tried to this, you tried that, and nothing was working. But you got to be the problem because you're the one that's continuing to try to fix the actual issue.
I mean, then that's just a different topic. We're not even talking about code switching now, and now we're just talking about what are you going to decide to deal with? What are you going to tolerate?
I guess you could do that. So I think again, I think guys are kind of like it's like you guys are on the same side of the token, but just different opinions on it. As far as the like, we agree on the definition of code switching, and like trying
Yeah,
to do again for dropping that definition in chat. So like to your guys' point, it's definitely could be probably a difference of opinion on the what we agree on. Because it's a broad term that's used so often. So I guess it also depends on the context that is being used. So when we
yeah.
just say like code switching at work, and like Solo's point, well, you close between this person and this conversation, then that's the definition of it for sure. But then, like in Joy's and I situation where like our code switching at our job is mainly like some people don't code switch and it can be a hindrance to them, or some people don't code switch and they can still fly past the flying colors. But then it also comes into our next conversation where we speak on like the racial wealth gap in America, because in all, it's not just a black and white thing. It can be it's not just a black white. It's not just a black and Asian. It's all races all together as far as the wealth gap in between us, especially at workplaces. So Solo, I know you as well. Not saying you're in healthcare by any chance. Don't need to mention your occupation if you don't want to. But
Come on.
these two tie hand in hand together. You feel me? The
Yeah.
racial bias in healthcare and also the wealth gap in America. Do you guys think there's a correlation between the two? And also, have you experienced any racial remarks or racial behavior while being at a hospital or a doctor's office, or any other type of I'm sorry, hold on. You good? Yeah, like any other healthcare practice and that. And have you guys experienced any racial bias in regards to that?
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, this. So I'm in healthcare, but I'm in med sales. So I mean, you have to have like very tough skin, right? And people are just gonna be
Mm-hmm.
assholes. You got to roll with the punches, bro. Like it's just what it is. The same way how people are just assholes, just in general. But
Mm-hmm.
there is a huge uh I guess care. I'm trying to find the word. I guess discrepancy in terms of what uh people. I guess people of color versus whites get in terms of care, and this is there's studies on it, and it's actually very staggering in terms of like what black women the type of care black women get versus the type of care that
Mm-hmm.
white women get. It's not even close. So I mean, like that's there regardless, right? But in terms of just talking to people, I mean, it's there. There's gonna be prejudgment, but everybody's the same. I mean, I've worked with people who look like me, right, and people who don't look like me, and I still get, I've still had encounters with both people that weren't really too pleasant. So, but in certain aspects of it, also there's clear differences, especially in terms of care for black women versus white women. I don't think that's an arguable point. I mean, that's facts. Just look at the research on that one.
Well, I mean, to your point, it starts with the education. Just as far as the textbooks and the stuff that you're working on, there's no black dummies. There's no nothing, right? I went to school for esthetician.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, right, because I'm a problem solver and I see the need and I see the holes, right? Somebody needs to create a black textbook so we know what rosacea looks like on black people. So we know what cystic acne looks like on black people. We know what contact dermatitis looks like on black people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It shows up very differently on white skin than it does on black skin. So it's just a matter about like it's interesting how people don't know how to work on Fitzpatrick's 5 and 6s, but they only know how to work on the lower numbers.
yeah,
So it's just
That's a good point. So that's seeing like, oh, so like, if you could put it like in layman terms, that's basically like knowing how to do certain, like use certain products on, I guess you could say fair skin color compared to darker skin color. Am I
correct.
understanding you correctly? Oh, okay, I just want to make sure I
Yes.
follow you along, in regards to that. But and like to Solo's point, oh yeah, for sure. Like the how are black women, the stories that we've heard, about how they're treated in healthcare. That's why I wanted to bring this conversation up. It's a real conversation to have. Like for instance, like when my son's mom was in the hospital, she didn't have like her whole pregnancy. She didn't have nothing but like preeclampsia
Back up.
or anything like that, like pre labor
They,
complications, anything like that, right? So
you
when
want
she
some
got,
steak?
you said what?
I was talking to the dog.
Oh, my bad, my
Steak.
bad. So like she didn't have any pre-labor complications, anything like that. But she came into like what was it? They check your dilation and stuff like that. So I believe it's like a certain centimeters you gotta be dilated from to like admit you into the hospital, keep you overnight. Like long story short, she was at that dial like that 8 to 10 centimeters dilated. That's supposed to keep you or like admit you to the hospital so you can go ahead and start the getting prep for labor, prep for delivery. They sent her home, and then literally like a couple hours later she had to come back because she was ready to get delivered. So even in that aspect, like, and then but I didn't, we were 19, 20 at the time, so we didn't know anything of it. But then when you talk to especially white people who would talk experience, they begin admitted to the hospital at like 4 centimeters dilated. So I was like, oh shit, like that was my experience right then and there. So that was like early on in my life, and that's when I really realized like no, they really will think that like either a black woman or black men, like we can either take more pain than we're allowing on, or we can we're susceptible to different treatment for the same exact process. And I was like, nah, that's what woke me up to really pay attention to the healthcare situation, making sure that anything like my son when he goes to doctors, they're actually paying attention to what anything we're bringing up to their attention, and
Does
they're
he have
actually.
black doctors?
Does he have black doctors? Nah, I don't have a black doctor. I gonna hold
Why?
you. I'm not the. I don't really. So for me, I'm not like a. I gotta go to a black doctor. I gotta go to
I
a white
do.
doctor. It's mainly more so like
Why? Are you
is
not
this
scared of the
is this
racial
doctor.
bias being placed down in your notes
Well,
that
no,
you
because
can't
I mean,
see?
if I felt like the doctor was there, then I would change the doctor. I feel like the doctor I have, for instance, like anything we had any concern with our child, they were attentive and they, what I'm saying. But again, I'm a involved parent, so I feel like anything with my child, if it goes back on your parents, you feel me? So that's how I look at it. And my thought process could be different from yours. But I feel like if the doctor is, if they're educated, giving you valid answers, there's no need for me to change the doctor. I mean, I went through Christiana care, you feel me? So it was just finding a doctor that was available at the time being. I don't really look at people as far as race goes in that situation, because for our situation, there was no need to do so. But again, when it came to like the delivery room and stuff like that,
You wasn't state?
that was the thing. You said what?
Go.
I was about to say, you said what's his name? I said, I don't. His last name is Epstein, so
Stop crying.
Yeah.
I look. It ain't the Epstein files. I know that much. I'm in every room, every conversation. You feel what I'm saying, bro? So I have to be mindful of that. The Epstein files came out. I was like, what the hell? Ain't no way. This is a doctor last name, bro. No,
Yeah.
for real. I was
I'm
really thought
hollering.
about that, yo. Hold on. And then we also got hold on. And then we have Tiny in chat. She said, let's see. Gosh, I mean, I need to really get my leaders on, y'all. This is like trying to read trying to read between like braille.
Come on, let me go get you some
Wait,
steak. Come on.
I don't know that's the thing. She said I go to the hospital repeatedly. My kidneys treatment is definitely different. Our pain is measured the same for sure. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I definitely understand that. And to your point, like I've been to the hospital for for my diabetes and stuff like that. And but I've had different roommates, so it could have been an older white male and an older black male. Like, and I've even seen difference of how they're treated. You feel me? The older white male could be in there spazzing out, tweaking and everything, and they'll still sit there and be patient with them. And then the older black guy I was with, he was doing the same
Good?
thing, and they were more aggressive. Like, yo, you gotta chill out, or you gotta sit
Okay.
down. You can't be doing that. You feel what I'm saying? So it could be depending on like the nurse that's on schedule, the doctor that's what I'm saying, the doctor. And I honestly think the people are human inside of healthcare. So some stuff to me is racial, then other stuff to me could be, yo, that person might have had a bad day prior to coming into work, and then they just dealing with the irate patient. It's like it's hard dealing when you got multiple patients and they all could be like that. I don't know because I'm not a nurse, but I've seen what nurses have to deal with daily. I'm like, oh hell no. Like I'm gonna be on my, I mean, my treatment doesn't go that bad. You feel me? My stuff is very seamless when I'm in there. But my roommates I've been with, white or black, I've seen both sides of it. Where again, I don't know if it's considered a racial bias. To me, it could be because I seen them both act out and they were both treated differently. But it could be the nurse and how the nurse handles the situation. You feel me?
Right. Right. No, I agree. But
Yeah, so that's for
I
sure.
really do think that you should get a black doctor. I
Thank you.
and and I'll say this from experience because I went um to visit my PCP like 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
and she was like, "Okay, I know you're African, right? And typically, um, we get tests from back at home, and they're not really super accurate, right?"
Mhm.
And she was like, "Well, if you're considering potentially having kids in the future or whatever, you probably should go to get tested for like sickle cell." None of my doctors ever, at my big ripe age of 29, has ever told me to do that until I got a black doctor who was actually also like African. So like
Mhm.
being being in a familiar environment,
Mhm.
they're able to relate to you. A
That's
white
fact.
doctor probably gonna ask you that. They don't give a damn about sickle cell because it probably really doesn't affect them all that too much.
Are you saying you have sickle cell? Sorry,
No,
I
I
missed
don't.
that. Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
Are you saying to get
let me,
tested for it because it's in black males? I mean, like in black people in general. My bad.
right. No, just the
Got you.
fact that
Got you. Got you.
just the fact that I'm African, because Africans do like their trait expression is a lot higher, right?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So they can have it, or they can just have the trait and it just not be expressed. And if you have another person who's also the same way, then the chances of you having a kid is a lot high that has sickle cell for sure is a lot higher.
Mm.
So, but they wouldn't tell you to go get tested for something like that unless you're unless unless they know, right? Unless they
Hmm.
are able to kind of relate with you on certain stuff. Like the same way why talk to certain you can't talk to certain people about what you're going through as a black male. Not everybody's going to like you can't talk to a white male about what you go through as a black male. They're not going to get it. They're not
Right.
going to get the fact that you get nervous because a cop is driving behind you and the whole time you didn't do nothing. They're not going to get it.
Right.
So I think you should, bro. Like if I'm being completely honest.
For me, I have so my primary care doctor and Tynasia, I appreciate that's Tiny in the chat. I appreciate Tynasia. I'm glad you said I could say her name. I didn't know that was you, but yeah, thank you again for it. And that's dope. You downloaded Twitch just to join the stream. I definitely appreciate it. So we definitely appreciate your support and also the follow as well. And I hope everything in situation is getting better too for you too. Definitely wishing you in great health. But to your point, Solo, like so from that was for my son. My son has a white doctor. For me, my primary care is a black female, and then my endocrinologist is Indian. So they're both female because they give it to you. Like I mean, I like again, I'm a raw, honest person. You feel me? So they give it to you as deemed. Yo, if you keep doing what you're doing, you ain't gonna live long. You know what I'm saying? So I like
Yeah.
stuff like that. But because they also gonna do the test, like no, let's test for this. Like in my situation, I have, as a diabetic, we have multiple specialty doctors. You feel me? So you got a GI doctor, you have a cardiologist, and these are all things you need to have in place. You feel me? To make sure your body is functioning because diabetes affect all of your body, all of your organs in your body, not just the pancreas not working, or not working as it should be. You feel me? So long story
Right.
short is that uh my doctors are all either black or what's it? I don't want to say they're Indian. You feel me? My main endocrinologist doctor is an Indian, and my nurse practitioner is an Indian as well. So I like them because what I mean, they're just as knowledgeable as I guess you say a white doctor with this, but they have that connection base. Like they're thinking of outside the box things to help the process. You feel me? To help control blood sugar levels, so you don't have to. I got some medications on type 1, but how do we help you with your insulin, not having to be so insulin dependent on everything? You feel me? So I definitely think, like for me in my situation, I had to try different doctors. Also another thing too is like for diabetics, a lot of us got affected by this pill called metformin. You feel me? So there was a huge
Mm.
recall on that, and I had a white doctor that gave me metformin. That's what made me switch. So I switched out of a white doctor when I was type 2 diabetic, and I was finally switching to this the black PCP, my primary care doctor, and then also my foreign. I say my foreign. That's crazy. Not foreign. My my Indian nurse practitioner and my Indian main endocrinologist. So to your point, I do have like a diverse team that takes care of me for my diabetes, but that's for me because I had to. You feel me? I had to go through the experience. But initially, I had a white doctor. I just don't think that he was giving me as much attention. I didn't feel like they were taking my situation serious until I became type 1. But I was like, y'all gave me a pill that got recalled nationwide. But then again, I don't know if I could blame them for
So
that
did you
or
do the research on the pill before you took it? I'm just asking.
well, no, because you only had at the time being it was only so this is 2019. And you can look this up, but metformin had a huge recall. So metformin was the initial pill they gave to type 2 diabetics to help. It was a long release pill. Instead of them giving you insulin, that was their next phase in diabetes treatment. So
You
it
know
was
what that sounds
metformin.
like? I'm
Hold
not
on,
gonna
hold on, hold
lie
on.
to
I'm
you.
gonna tell you, it's a trial. This is trial and error, but diabetes is a trial and error disease. That's the reason why we bring awareness. That's the reason I'm bringing awareness to it. So there wasn't a you had metformin and then you had Tradenta. Tradenta is like the 5 milligram pill, small pill that you would take in the morning, and then your metformin was a pill you would take at night because you need to have the blood sugar levels controlled. So again, this is for type 2 diabetics. Well, I'm a type 1 down, so I'm on insulin, so it's a lot different. But at the time being, this is a new pill they're putting out to try to help control blood sugar levels in type 2. So could it have been
Mhm.
it was an experiment? But I'm not the only one because I spoke to a fellow diabetic recently and they had the same issue, but I have issues now from using metformin. So it's not just like that doctor prescribed it. It was something that was nationwide that was given out to diabetics all together. Because
Okay.
again, our disease is trial and error. A lot of money goes into researching diabetes, but if they're trying to solve it or cure the disease, they won't know how everybody's body is going to be affected by it until it's out there on the public market. You feel me? So I think I don't know if they knew the effects it was going to have or not, but once I started experiencing side effects and I seen a recall, I stopped taking that medication and I asked to switch. But by that time, it was already too late. I already started feeling the side effects of it. So that was my experience with it. But just being honest, that's just the sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. I don't know if that's just medical mal. It's not medical malpractice because it was a nationwide thing. So every diabetic was getting it. So I can't say it was just my situation because it's a nationwide thing for diabetics. You feel me? Anybody that knows diabetic, if you ever heard of metformin or if you take a metformin, just look at the recall of the medication back in 2020, 2019 when they initially dropped the huge thing nationwide where they had to recall medication around it. And again, this is stuff that is prescribed by your doctor. So um I mean, shoot, as a diabetic,
Sure.
you're not gonna argue with an endocrinologist. You feel me? You
Why
can't
not?
because it's not something
Because
like
you assume they know more than you.
as it seems you don't know about your impact of diabetes in general. So it's not really a disease you can really sit there and play around with. You feel me? So your blood sugar
Sit,
levels being at a high level,
sit.
it's not something you can naturally bring down. Like you can change your eating habit and work out, but if you're insulin dependent, you can't do nothing about your insulin. You feel me? You can't bring your blood sugar down naturally. It's not possible. So you have to take
How
the
come?
medicine that was given. It's just how it is. If you
Are
know a
you
way to lower your
sure?
insulin, look, if you know a way to lower your
Now, listen. Hey,
no,
I come from an herbalist, so I'm
yeah.
just
So I'm
asking because
all right. So I'll
you
be like
know
this,
I'll
right?
sit and I'm about to
All right,
start
listen.
questioning you.
Now I'm
So
gonna
let
tell
me
you,
first ask
I'm
you a question,
yeah,
because
I'll
that
give
you
you a
know
history
what this
lesson.
sounds like to me.
I'll give you a history lesson, right? So prior to 1920s, if anybody was labeled as a diabetic, they only lived a couple of months after that because insulin wasn't around. So
All right.
anyone's a type 1 diabetic like me, you would not have lived more than a couple of months after you were initially diagnosed with diabetes because there was no such thing as insulin. So
Okay.
insulin was just created 100 years ago. So
Okay.
to that point, there's it's medicine and it's all practice. You feel me? So there isn't. It's still not a cure for it. So whether you Dr. Sabi or yeah, I mean,
Mal, I'm not even about to go there. I
I've
just
been
really
saying
want you
this.
to. I just
It's
really
not
want you to
there.
think about it.
And I question my doctors and all the treatment.
No, I
Don't
don't
get
want
me
to hear. I
wrong.
like. No, no.
Mhm.
We heard your medical story. I don't want to hear
Yeah.
your medical story anymore. I'm
Hey,
cutting you
look, you
off
good.
because I
I
want to ask
look.
questions. Because you cut me off. Nope. I'm asking you
I'll bring the
questions.
notepad out.
Yeah, so first thing I want to ask you is,
uh,
did you try to change your eating prior to you taking the medicine?
I tried changing my
Mm.
eating prior to taking the
Did
medicine.
correct? Did you change your diet prior to taking the medicine?
I did change my diet, and I still progressed to
And
type
I'm
one.
talking about not the microwaved rice,
Yo, chill out
not
with the vegetables.
not the microwaved
uh,
vegetables,
well, no, I was eating food at
not
DSU at the time, so shoot, I didn't really have the option,
okay.
bro.
So you weren't really eating the way somebody who's trying to change and
Yeah, I
make
mean,
sure that the sugar that's it, because diabetes realistically is sugar in your blood, right?
it's your pancreas. It's hand in hand. It's your blood sugar level, yes, but then your pancreas isn't working as it's supposed to. So it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Mm,
So do you eat grapefruit?
no.
Incorporate some grapefruit in
Well, I
your
mean,
diet.
if I eat it now, it don't help. It don't help. I mean, it help probably control it now, but we're in a different. I'm 5 years already diagnosed now. It's too late
I'm
by
not
that point.
that's the point. That it's not about the diagnosis, Mal.
Mm.
That all right. So if you're gonna stay stuck in the box because they gave you a label, then cool, wear the label and be the label part for the rest of your life. Be in the box for the rest of your life.
Yo, not in
Because
the
I'm
box.
pretty sure you can get out that box, but you don't want to. So
Oh,
I,
all right. You know what we gonna do? I'm gonna get a diabetic stream on here so we can get some people to test their testimonies on here because I'm pretty sure somebody done tried the grapefruit
I'm almost
strategy.
pretty sure there are a lot of diabetics. Hey, they do tell you, hey, you're pre-diabetic, and at that point, it's like, oh, okay, what can I do to change my diet? So, did they tell you you were pre-diabetic at some
I
point, and
wasn't see.
then
That's what I'm saying. It's two different things. So I found out I was a diabetic. I was doing a DOT physical. You feel me? So I went for my urine test for a drug test, and they found out I had but they found out I had what's the name, like sugar in my urine. So that was the first time to get tested. You feel me? But by that time, my A1C was over the pre-diabetic line, was already in the higher range at the 8.9, like 9. You feel me? So
okay,
yeah, by that time they don't if you're already past a certain A1C, they don't give you a pre-diabetic label. They give you're either type 2 or type 1. So my mom was
okay,
type 1. You feel me? So at the time being, it used to be that diabetes wasn't hereditary. You feel me? So long story short, we don't got going on about my medical situation, but long story short was that there's been a lot of information about diabetes that came out where now it can be linked through family history that it could be hereditary being passed down to people. And if you have a parent or a grandparent, uncle, aunt that you need to be aware of how you're living your lifestyle, because it could be a chance you could be a diabetic down the road. So again,
Yes, that's inevitable. If
you feel me?
somebody in your
So
family has sugar in their blood, most definitely the rest of y'all eat just as bad and gonna get sugar
yeah.
in your blood.
And hey, look,
And
I ain't saying I already know my diet wasn't good at times. So when they told me, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't like, oh my God. I'm like, oh shoot, you know what? All right, you might be right. You feel me? So I didn't just accept it and end all be all. Like I tried changing eating habits, stuff like that. But for me in my situation, it progressed to type one. But long story short, guys, like I'm gonna do a video on that stuff for my diabetic community, because I know
okay,
we understand everything in
sorry.
regards. Now you're good. It's no good. Like I'm comfortable
And I'm
answering
not trying to
questions.
be this. I'm not. I have questions, and I'm
Oh no,
curious
no, it's
because,
but that's what
right?
we
I
have to
think
bring
that
awareness for
things
that.
can
It's
be
cool.
cured naturally. So I'm just
Type
curious.
two, yes. So type two is reversible. Pre-diabetic is reversible. When you're type one, your pancreas just doesn't work. So until they can, until
Well,
there's
is it because it doesn't work because you didn't do, you're doing something right? So this is my thought process. If
mhm.
something has too many of one thing inside of it, it's going to overload. So if you have too much of that inside your body, then of course it's going to shut down. I'm just curious, but
Yeah, well that's why it's a it's an ongoing study. So if it
yeah,
was
there's an ongoing cure for
yeah,
cancer, but but they have it in other countries now. I'm
I
just
mean they
saying,
haven't
just
saw
don't be
it's that's what I'm
fooled.
saying. It's like the only country who's been I think close was either Japan or China. They're the only ones who have got the idea of getting closer to alternative pancreas, but it hasn't been successful as yet as far as the transplant or as far as like implementing it just yet. So it's again, it's ongoing. And that's why, a channel like me, we're trying to bring awareness to it because, we want to hear other people's stories. So the more people who speak about their experience with diabetes or their illness, wherever they're going through, the more people get more comfortable with being able to explain how they've been treated by medical. If this worked, if that worked, they may be able to help somebody else. So because my situation didn't go well with metformin, anytime I hear a diabetic, I always ask them like, "Yo, like what's your medication?" They'll be like, "Oh, I'm on metformin or something like that." My advice is like, see if you can get off metformin because these are the side effects where they've affected a lot of people that I know who are diabetic. So just because I wasn't able to be beneficial to that information because if you don't know, you don't know. So I didn't know at
Right.
the time. You feel me? So that's why it's always a learning curve when it comes to these things. But like Solo had mentioned before, it was him having a doctor mentioned to get tested for sickle cell because it's there and there. You feel me? Maybe if I had a doctor at the time that was doing that, but that's not how it goes. You go to your family doctor, what I'm saying, for your checkup. I went to my family doctor, and that's why not happening. And again, mine's
Listen,
came in.
I went to my family doctor
Yeah,
and
well, my
I've
family doctor was white at
experienced.
the time, so I get maybe he wasn't paying attention as much as much. I don't know, but all I know is that for like my diagnosis, I was doing a DOT physical, so I wasn't even at the doctor's. I was at a drug test, so you feel me? I wasn't even thinking of being a diabetic. I'm thinking I'm about to go past the test to get my CDL. You feel me? So it was just like a life. It's a shocker to me. And then, I'm saying that my situation is a little bit different. Everybody's situation is different. I know that for sure. But long story short is like there's always going to be like how we're treated in medical. That's why I want to speak about it. It's good to have these conversations in regards to healthcare because we all have our own. I'm saying we all go to our doctors and we do checkups and we do things like that. But if you guys have any closing remarks to that topic, if not, I am going to move on to the next one because we can go all day about diabetes and stuff like that, but it's not this type of stream, guys. I don't want to, I'm saying, overload y'all with all the diabetic complication stories because, yeah, I'll be here all day, and because I got a lot of stories and I got a lot of answers, but I won't give you guys all that tonight. It's this episode of YouTube coming out with that. You know what I'm saying? Living with diabetes is what we're talking about. So that'll be content you check out on the YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? Hey, free promo, free promo. I'm sorry, I joke a lot. My bad, my bad. But long story short is that there are racial bias in healthcare, which
Well,
we're all
wait,
aware
I
of.
had a question for you because I
Uh,
wasn't done telling you with the
with the
you,
grapefruit. Oh, you want to see my
no.
diabetic formula that I got?
No, I don't. What I
All right.
wanted to ask you about the Medforma
Mm.
was you ever seen that show on the movie Painkillers
Nah, I
on
haven't seen it.
Netflix? Yeah,
Mm-mm.
you should watch that. That's really what this is very much giving me, the thought
Uh
process
huh.
behind it. Slow release, slow release, slow release, slow release drugs. When everybody was addicted to what's the drug that got real, the perks or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Slow release capsules over time. Wonder if it's the same company. Just
Let's
letting.
see. Um, Yeah, guys. Sorry, I'll have to do a whole episode on this
You
vet
have to
format
do a
thing.
little research on
Yeah, I'll
that.
have to
Go
do
ahead
it
and
because
do
I
that because
can't.
I want
I
to.
won't be able to give you an answer right then and there because see
Sure.
when it comes to these things and these topics, when you look up information in regards to recall medicine and stuff like that, Google is very good of trying to like overshadow information. So you got to like dig past the AI overview, stop being lazy, and actually go deeper into that information and research. So not you, Joe. I'm talking about like when I'm looking it up, it said there's no active. See, look, here's the keyword: there is no active recall. So there's not saying that there's never was a recall. So you got to work around the wordplay that Google tries to use to kind of. I'm pretty sure that's just the big pharma putting their paywall around it. So they don't want people to understand that. But yes, if you are somebody who's on metformin, you should look into the side effects of it because again, people are still affected by it to this day. And I'll do a whole episode of what the effects are and things of that nature because not just my testimony. Again, speaking with other people who have diabetes have spoken to it as well. So again, I ain't gonna hit y'all about all the information on or keep it about just diabetic extreme or anything like that. But that was just one of my experiences with the differences in the racial treatment in regards to that. All right. So we'll move on to the next topic as well. Let me just get that for you guys for a moment. And sorry, this is a little bit different. I was trying to situate my son over here, make sure that he had everything situated too. You're not asleep. You good? Nah, he's good. All right, but just one moment, y'all. So yeah, we spoke on the racial bias in America as far as healthcare goes. We were also speaking a little bit, supposed to speak on a little bit on the racial wealth gap as well. Don't know if you guys want to give any thoughts on the wealth gap that we have within our society. Um, if you want, I can give you a little bit of statistics behind it if you guys need me to.
Oh man, I think I if I'm being completely honest, that is a really deep discussion
Mhm.
that
Not for
a
this way.
lot of different angles.
What's your angle you want? I mean, again, the racial wealth gap conversation can go on. That could be its own live in itself because, like you
Yeah.
said, there's a lot of different angles. There's stats and facts and stuff that we could pull up or do research on to, give our, support our stance and stuff like that. But just your overall overview of it, like when you hear that topic, what do you think? Where does your brain go? You know?
I mean, my brain goes to uh I I think this how obvious there is a racial wealth gap in general. I think we have people who are wealthy, but in terms of what the average looks like compared to our other counterparts, it's not really all that close. And it's due to a lot of multiple reasons. Um, resources at hand, opportunities aren't really the same. And if we're being, if we're being honest, we're always going to look out for each other and they're always going to look out for each other too.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. So, um, that topic in of itself is something that can go on all day long,
Yeah. So I
all day.
mean, I can give you guys, and this is a little bit of research I had to do prior to it because I was thinking like you said, it's a lot of it could be a broader like topic. So some of the stats that I was able to just pull in regards to just like the overall information, just to help out the conversation a little bit. So one of them was we spoke last week on how they like the Asian boycott, and we spoke on a little bit on like the Asian how they were able to get into our community and stuff like that. But one information that was brought to my attention is that we speak so much highly of the wealthy Asian families, but we don't really speak on. I think it's here it is the Southeast Asian community. So that would be the I won't mispronounce this. And if you were a Hmong, I don't know. Look, I don't speak Hmong, but listen, the race is Hmong, the Cambodian or the Laotian. They often live at or below the poverty line. So why are Asians considered the model minority when there is a population of Asians who are at or below the poverty line? Then also some other information for you guys. Hispanic Latina women are the lowest paid of any group, earning just 65 cents for every dollar a white male earns. And then the last that I have for you
Mm.
guys is stock equity makes up nearly 30% of white wealth, but only 4% of black wealth. That's the investment gap nobody talks about. So those are a couple of talking points I was able to research for you guys. So just with that information, what do you think about that?
Resources,
Yep, I agree.
resources. Like
That's good answer, Solo.
if I'm being honest, and this could be my own prejudice and just judgment off rip.
Hmm.
I promise I'm not saying this to come off like rude to whoever was watching, but
Speak your truth, brother.
I li- so I
I
live
know
in a
you're about that.
predominantly like Hispanic like neighborhood, right?
Mhm.
And
Say that again.
I live in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood. Like I
Okay.
see like even the workers in my apartment are Hispanic, right?
Okay.
They're not majority of them don't really speak English. Like I'll go to the gym and I'll work out, and people who are working out in there, they're Hispanic and they're not speaking English. Just that alone kind of lowers the bar in terms of what they can, the ceiling of what they can really achieve, because that's like a limiting factor.
Sure.
And so if they don't have the access to those kind of resources that other English speaking people, whether they're black or white,
Mhm.
they're just it's they're just always going to be capped out, just no matter what.
Is that their fault or is it our fault for the lack of education?
It could go both ways. I'm being completely honest. Like for me, when I came to the U.S., because I wasn't born here, I was born in Nigeria. I
Right.
came here and I didn't speak English. I just learned that shit. Right.
Mhm.
For
You
me,
took ESL.
I don't think that, for me, I'm not the type of person. I don't let people use excuses. I mean, like, I don't
Mhm.
believe in my environment made me like
Hey,
this.
Joey like that one.
Like I'm not really for that. Like,
Mhm.
you decide what you want and you be the change that you want. Like, just as simple as that. So if you want to do more, you
You're
can.
not getting up here. Get down.
You, like, you can achieve it. And there's people who I went to school with at who I went to school with in college, and they're Hispanic. They don't really speak English all too well, and they're doctors now. Like, I know these people.
Mhm.
So it's like, how are you going to apply yourself now? It's, again, this is why I'm saying, like, this conversation can go many ways, because now you're talking about a student who's younger, who's a little bit more ambitious, versus an adult who probably is more stuck in their ways and probably doesn't see themselves wanting to do more, but just really to get the bare minimum, so they
Mhm.
either get their child to the position that they want them to be. So it's there's a lot of moving pieces in this conversation, and it could bridge into a whole other topic. But
Yeah.
just resources is really, for me, like, the biggest, for just the biggest answer, uh for that gap. And knowledge, like, no one's really, I mean, if I'm being honest, like, my friends, when we used to go outside, like, we didn't, or when I or or when I used to go to school, like, no one was really reading those summer or winter break books that you have to come back and report and do all that stuff.
I did.
I wasn't.
Mhm.
I was outside riding my bike with my friends.
I did. I did them.
But I mean, that's just, and no one was really like checking for that. Your friends weren't really checking, oh, do you read the book? Nah, like, no one really cared. But when I went to, like, a predominantly white school, or like a college at one point,
Mhm.
people took stuff very serious. I'm like, oh shit, like, let me not be the outcast.
Right.
So it's just resources and what you're exposed to, and unfortunately, they put black people all in one area. That's a
Yeah.
whole nother topic.
Back down.
That's a whole nother topic. So
I agree with both things that you said. So like I think all the topics go just as much as he talked about
Mhm.
the home buying process, the home buying crisis. Okay, just because they said that that's what's happening doesn't mean that that has to be my reality. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like realistically about like what do you put yourself into, and then the resources in which you do have or you don't have access to. But if you don't have access to them, how do you get the access to them? Or do you know somebody that already has it and has obtained? Get down. You want to go in the cage?
You want to put him on a leash. It's like-
But it's just a
uh,
matter of like what
what you feel as though you're willing to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
will you go and ask a white person how to get there? Or are you going to be the person that complains about the tax breaks that the millionaires are getting for businesses? Instead of thinking, hey, they're getting a tax break. How can I get a tax break too? Because they're getting one. If a business can get a tax break, what do I need to do? Set me up as a business so that I can get those same rewards. And it's just really about thinking about, they give you a little bit of something, and it's about the information that they're giving you. How do you use it to your
Mm-hmm.
advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if you are given something on a silver platter, yeah, they might not do it for you, but they gave you enough so that you can get it done. There's no reason that you can't get it done unless you choosing to hinder yourself.
Right.
And that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
So you guys, do you believe it's due to a lack of financial literacy being taught in the household itself, or is it mainly that the individual isn't doing enough to want to have that desire to learn? You know, because to your both your points, if you don't know something, how like, well, what would pique somebody's interest to want to learn more or how to get it? Is it changing your current situation? Like, do you want to experience your same thing you experienced in your childhood? You know, is that something that people could just one day wake up, or do you think it has to be something they're exposed to?
It, it's Mal. This is such a bro. There's so many angles to this. Like I don't
Yeah.
even think you understand. Like you're saying this, and you're
Mm,
you're completely right. Like both angles are right, but there's also a systemic approach also that they
mm,
only feed the black community certain things. Like I could promise you, I can ask you can ask every single black person in this world, right? In the
mm,
US, have they watched the notebook? And I'm going somewhere with this.
mm,
Versus and you ask the same question to to like the white population. Then you ask the same question to the black population saying, hey, have you watched Boys in the Hood? And then you
mm,
ask the same question to have you watched Black Boys in the Hood to white people. There's gonna be a difference in terms of what we're being exposed to.
mm,
So if we're constantly being exposed to things that aren't really good or things that like aren't motivational, right? Like
mm.
in terms of oh,
Like
have a family
yeah.
together or
Mm,
get a house, live that quote unquote American dream. What are we trying to push towards? Are you showing us gang violence? Because that's what it is. They're showing us gang violence, they're showing us drugs, they're showing us all this stuff and they're putting us in one environment. That is
mm,
our reality versus the other communities in a different community where they have parks, family time, recreational stuff, summer camps, all these kind of like exposures to these other things that kind of says like, man, like I want this, I want to be able to do this, I want a family. It kind of they have their reality, you have your reality, and once you actually determine like, hey, this is my reality,
mm.
you automatically put yourself in a box. I don't know if you guys seen that ant study where they have an ant and they draw a circle in that ant and the ant can't leave the circle even though it's just drawn in. It's fake. It's not a real box.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we are because they've did a some kind of it's a systemic it's a kind of systemic plot or some kind of systemic thing
That's
that they did
interesting.
to make us to really make us not
Well,
think that we have some form of like escape or some form of something better to look forward to.
we okay. So I to your point, I agree
I
with
don't know.
I agree with your point, but there was a point there is a like there's always a point in time where we've had like our black people come together. Like you had the Black Wall Street, they didn't bomb it. You feel me? They blew up the whole town, basically, essentially destroying what you were building up. And then you got
We're
like the
talking about
bombing
that
of
lynching.
yeah, you got the bombing in Philadelphia that happened in the 80s, where Philadelphia was one of the up and coming black cities and going to really rise into the top black cities in America. That you bombed them, they had the huge Philadelphia riot, and ever since then, Philadelphia has to be able to. So a lot of times, our when black people were finally waking up or coming together and they're pulling their resources together, they're having their own Black Wall Street. Um, Something happens, like you mentioned, so definitely something systemic because not only is it does it garner attention nationally, but those people are either killed, thrown in jail, they're defunded, or they got blown up. And this is real. This is like in our history in America. So It's
Yeah.
not that our people don't wake up and realize like, hey, we have to do this. It's the matter of fact that the government, our country, they don't want to see that happen. So they, by the powers that are at hand, and this is history, guys. So if you want to, you know, what I mean, look a little bit deeper into it, like, you know, these things are factual. This isn't no hypothetical thing. These things actually happen. They've done a lot of stuff intentionally to put our people in certain spots. They put us in certain neighborhoods or certain environments. Like you said, they feed us entertainment propaganda that influences the mind to do like to do dumb things. You feel me? So like you mentioned about the Boys in the Hood and Notebook. I've never watched Notebook, so I'm not gonna see in the movie, so I have no
Exactly.
idea. But I'm pretty sure. I mean, the note. I'm sorry, I don't know what is a Notebook about. I'll ask you that. Let me be a
Love.
better, a
It's a
better, a
love,
better, a
like a
better, a
It's a
love.
better
love
host. What's the
movie.
Notebook about?
Love.
It's a love movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, to your point, Boys in the
Were you
Hood, like
raised on survival or were you raised on love? It's just a matter of the question, and it's funny that you say that. So love.
that's a good question, Solo. That's a good point, though. To your point, that's a great point.
It puts it into perspective. Were you raised on love or were you raised on survival?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Exactly.
We raised on the boats and hoes. All right, Step
It's
Brothers. I was raised on Step
interesting.
Brothers. You feel me? That's what I was raised. Hey, boats and hoes.
We
All right, my
forgot
bad,
you
my
were
bad.
born in 1992. So
Oh, 1998. Yeah, she
1999.
tried. She
1999, 2000.
99,
You were born
2000s.
when the world was going to end. You didn't even have the time to get up and be like, oh my God, the world's going to end 2000. Like, you didn't even get the option to do that. Yeah. You wasn't there for Destiny's Child Survivor.
Hold on.
All right. All
Neva
right. All
said
right.
nobody really raised on love.
What happened?
She said nobody really raised on love. That's her. Oh, okay. He mentioned, hold on. He mentioned because a kind of movie in the white community.
Yeah.
No,
You mentioned because a calm movie in the white community
oh,
versus
my
hope.
bad. Oh, that's not you, Tiny. Sorry. That's the person on top. Sorry, listen. I don't got my glasses on, y'all. So y'all gotta bear with me for like another week. So like I can see.
Yeah. So
So
people
that's
are
dull.
raised
Yeah,
on love. And that's the
hold
thing.
on.
It's like,
Who is
what are
that?
you around when you grow up? Right. So
Oh,
for
that's the
me, for
logo.
example, right? I didn't grow up around any black people in the black things. I didn't grow up around it. They called me white girl. They called me everything other than joy.
Yeah.
So I got made fun of, you feel me? But I never really understood um until later on in my life that the things and the way my father moved was as a wealthy white person that lives their everyday life. But to the black community, it's not accepted because you're not flashy and you're not wearing new stuff every time you come around. So it's actually interesting. So my childhood was filled with a bunch of contradictions that I can now see them differently now. But as a child going through it, it was like, damn, just
Mm-hmm.
go buy some new shoes or just go do this, just go do that. But in all actuality, Bull had bank. So it's like, he doesn't need to be flashy for you. His bank account says everything that it needs to say. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just a matter of like the way you see things and the way you grow up on things because not everybody sees that like you want what you want in the moment, but if you see it in a sense of the bigger picture, you can understand it in the long run. I guess is how I would explain it,
Cool.
if that makes sense.
It does.
Like,
Yeah, so what's being raised on love though, guys? So hold on, oh, that's a good question. Because hold on, now you done got me. I'm sorry, I have my son. He's playing Michael Jackson over here, so I just heard hoo hoo over in my ear multiple times. So sorry about that. Telling to mute that real fast. So when he says nobody really raised on love, our perception on love is like which let me ask you this: what is your guys' definition of love? Because what we perceive as the Notebook could have been a love movie, yeah, but these white households they be beating their wives and stuff, and we be thinking they living all good behind the scenes because they are majority of domestic violence issues in America. We being honest, so if we're going to be honest on what we're basing off love, what is considered love, and what's considered love, and what are we basing it off of? When we look at survival, when we look at a movie that's the Notebook, is white people love? Is that the same as black people love? Do they show the same expression, or are you just saying the overall message that the movie is given? Is that your point?
I think the fact that you just asked that question is the point that we're trying to make. Well, at least
there
I
you
Okay,
think,
go.
okay.
because you're
That's why I'm
saying
asking
black
the question
people
just for you
love
guys to
versus
expound
white
on it.
people. love. That
because you don't know what love is. So,
like you already like you're saying white people love versus black people love. Like
It's a real
love.
thing, though, is it not? Is there not a difference?
but
And
love is
love
just
ain't
an
love.
action
Love is
word.
love between every race. Every race show love different between each other. Correct? Am I wrong?
I'm e- e-
Well,
e-
why would it be different?
well,
It's
we
just an
Because,
action. It's a
exactly
universal action,
exactly.
right? The
but
fruit of the
how
spirit
you
is
deem love in a household?
love,
Like there was love in the
peace,
Boys in the Hood movie, though.
joy, patience.
There was love in Boys in the Hood, though. They all had love for each other, did they
I
not?
mean, yeah, but okay. So I think so. Like this for me.
Solo, you take it.
So when you so like
You know,
when
I asked the
like
questions, y'all. My bad. I'm just going off of. I gotta ask the questions. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't be mad
no,
at me. I'm
good
trying to
good.
be a good host. I gotta ask these other questions. You gotta ask follow up, right? Come
No, these
on,
are good
man.
questions. These are
Yeah.
good. These are good questions. What I so for me is like what is being taught in the white household. You know, like have a family. Most of the time they're living in a two-parent household, so they're able to see that like that mother father um dynamic, that
Teamwork.
relationship,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's what they're being shown. That's what's being pushed. And if I'm being honest, we don't majority of the time we don't really have that mother father dynamic on our side. And love is being expressed in a certain way. Or there's times where it's like, hey, like you'll be your dad for this weekend or you'll be with your mom for this weekend. That's not there.
Yeah.
And that's what as a kid, kids' brains are very plastic. And
Mm-hmm.
plastic in terms of it's very moldable. You can mold it to whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
That's their reality. So their reality is, oh,
Hey,
mommy is
stop.
I got
Go
mommy
over there.
every other week and I got
What's
daddy
that?
every other week. That's love.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
My bad. Sorry. You said if I'm. Yeah. Well.
Like
Okay.
like
So if you're speaking on like co, okay. So no, that's a good question. So if you speak like on a co-parenting thing, yes, because all right. Why would you
Wait,
want to?
hold on. How did we get to go? Hold on. Okay.
That was his question. He
So
just said mommy and daddy. Yeah, I mean, it's well, I'm speaking from my experience. I don't me and my son's mom is together, so I go from co-parenting. I can't give you an ideal of a two-parent household. I'm not in a two-parent household. So I just give my experience. But yeah, I mean, you can still experience love from your mom and dad the same, and they not be in the same household. And if they're under the same household, it could still be the same. It's just shown different. Like how a male shows love to his daughter is going to be different how he shows love to his son. Because on your son, you are trying to raise him up to be a man, which we seem deem as, could be a tougher version of showing love. And do you could show your daughter the softer side of you where you're showing her, I guess you could say a glam life or like, hey, more so be like this. I guess it all determine on how you deem as parenting and love. It could be different. But if you're speaking on like a two-parent household, yeah, I mean, it's still the same thing. How you mentioned about how you treat somebody in your household could be how you show love. Yes.
see, but
Sorry.
I think the difference in here is like in a one parent household, the love is conditional, okay? And
Mm,
keep it 100% because somebody's lacking something.
yeah.
I don't like you because your dad's not giving me no money. I don't, and you're not going to sit and act like every parent doesn't have the animosity. Well, I'm saying it in a sense of like in
That's
a
a fact.
single parent household, there's not a term of underlying turmoil or animosity against the other parent because one parent is didn't sign up to do it on their
Mm,
own. So the love is tainted because it's not unconditionally pure because it's not being able to be done out of a soft space and anything because you still have to carry the four people that you're carrying on your back. You feel what I'm saying? Because in a sense, you're mom and dad, plus you got to carry the kid. So now instead of it just being you and one person that you're and a half of a person that you're
mm.
carrying three people on your back.
I mean, shit, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, I look.
Yes,
I mean,
you're
for
a man.
look
But every
from
woman
my
doesn't want to
perspective,
get up and to
yeah.
go every day, right? So, like, I had
Mm,
a conversation one time. My dad said something to me like, get another job. And I told him, "Huh, you're a man. I will never work another job. If my one job doesn't pay me enough, something else need something I need to do something else. But what I'm not going to do is get another job because
mm,
that's a dub. That's additional time that I would have to take from my child. And it's like, we already know the lasting effects of how it affects a mom being at home, not a kid not being at home with their parent.
mm,
We already know that. We've already seen it. We've already experienced it. We watched countless parents already leave their kids from the time they wake up to the babies making dinner and breakfast, and that's not the life that these children deserve. You feel what I'm
That's
saying?
a
It's
fact.
like, who cares that you got to do what you got to do? So you
I
neglect the
mean, that's
fact that you're supposed, you also need to do what you got to do to support this child's emotional well-being and their physical well-being, but you're
Mhm.
not, because you would rather sacrifice your time and their emotional well-being for the dollar.
Well, I mean, look, you can do. I mean, like, so to your point, yeah. So if you're in that situation where you gotta work multiple jobs to provide for your family, then yeah, there is going to be that emotional disconnect, and a lot of times people don't have the support at home, whether it's family or not, together or not. So there could be a
And
two
that's
parent
the point.
household
Both of those movies do the same
do the
things.
same, but I mean, I
They
mean, for
depict
me, I just look
exactly
at
what
it.
we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, no, again, it's not really disagreeing with you guys being like that. I'm just trying to give the other side of the token. You feel me? That's how you we gotta do like that. So I mean, just from that standpoint that you mentioned, though, the emotional support, I think that's number one in a household. You feel me? So that should be put over financial in a way. I mean, obviously, it's important to take care of your finances, but we're seeing a lot of people who come well off from financial home. So hold on. What about the people who come from a loving unconditional home and still end up doing some, like, you know, it's not black or white. They either go do some dumb stuff and go and end up in jail. They
It
It's
either,
a
happens.
you know what I mean, don't be
preference.
successful. I mean, that's
It
like that's what I'm saying. So if you
It's a
even come from if
preference.
you come from situation from love, so the statistics may say, I guess statistics would say that you're probably better off to be successful in this country, I would say. But I mean, we see a lot of success stories that come from people with these type of environments that are, I guess you could deem a struggle, or like a conditional love, but it built character. It built them able to, you know what I'm saying? Like my dad, for instance, came from a single parent household with his siblings. You feel me? So he spoke to me about having to be the oldest sibling, taking care of his younger siblings while his mom was at work and overnight and all that stuff like that. But at the same time, he said he doesn't know how it would be if he had his dad in his life, because would he still be the same person to this day? Would he have went out and opened his own business and everything he's supposed to do? So that's my question, is like, so for the people who are successful in life, if you come from that type of environment, my question is, do you think your life would have been different if you grew up around love and support compared to growing up in survival? And are there a lot more people that come from those loving environments successful today, or are there a lot more successful stories uh, coming from survival? Because we talk about the world
Yep.
being soft now, but is the world soft down because they grew up on love and support, or because they didn't really go through the fire, the rain of fire? You know what I'm saying? That's my question. I'm just asking the question. Bless you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you heard that.
Yeah, bro.
No,
It's
I
a
mean,
that boy got that,
I
that,
think,
that boy over there. So nah, I ain't gonna say that on stream, bro.
but there's a statistic that shows that those who are in, you know, two, like a mother and father household
Mm-hmm.
versus those who aren't,
Yeah.
they're not incarcerated really,
Right.
right? Versus those who are in the single parent household.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that alone kind of shows, I mean, a form of success, right? I mean, like, if you're in jail, you can't really achieve nothing, but
But that's systemic, like you mentioned before, right?
yes, but it is, but it also could, it's still, well, let me think about it, because I don't
No,
want
I,
to.
I know, I know. I'm asking that because, see, the reason why I asked that question is because we speak on the systemic oppression that we face in America. So when we speak on the differences between the movies and everything like that, there's another side
Hmm.
of the token where there's also a side where it's systemic. It's like the system is designed to create division within your community, right? So
Yes,
is that
I
me?
agree.
Oh, sorry, that was you. Sorry, my bad. It's like, yo, am I tweaking? I thought I had a video in my speaker. My bad. Sorry about that. But yeah. So that's all I'm asking is, like, both of you guys are making great points, and that's why I just wanted to just see, like, if all of our children are raised on unconditional love, but where does that put us in a society? Do you think we would be like in a more non-violent place, or will we still have violence? Because at the end of the day, it's just not a such thing as like a perfect world. But in a perfect world, is it possible for us all to have that unconditional? Like, is it possible for us to know that when we get with this person, we have a child with them? And it could be, if it's not a one night stand, or like you get in a relationship and y'all have a child a month in or something like that. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about somebody you really been with, and then y'all have a kid, and the things just don't work out after that. Like, you feel me? Sometimes that happens. Or you could stay together in a household and your relationship is at a, you know what I mean? You ever seen people with two parents in a household and they're more depressed than a parent than a kid who has, you know what I'm saying, one parent, because the two parents can't get along, but they stay together for the better sake of the kid, or they think it's the better sake of the kid? Like, that's considered technically, I guess, unconditional love in a way, or is that still conditional?
I mean, I understand what you're saying,
He said love is
and
kind of
this and
poison.
this
It is poison, bro. That John will have
there's
you.
a
My bad, solo. Love is poison though. If it's used in the wrong way, you going to love, or do you? Or is it love or lust? That's what some people got to ask themselves, man. They being honest with you. Like, do you really love that person, or do you love what they provide for you? Like, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the questions you got to ask yourself when you really want to find a life partner. Like, I've been there. You feel me? Like, I've had a life partner, you feel me? So like, I've been married before, so it was all good. Everything was cool. But things didn't work out. Me and her didn't end on like bad terms. You feel me? We just realized that we are probably better off, you know what I'm saying, as friends than we are button heads all the time. So for the better sake of our child, let's work on having a cordial relationship post breakup, you feel me, and just work on providing our son with the best way we can at separate households. But that's maturity. So I think a lot of people gotta be mature about their situations. And not everybody is. And like Joy mentioned earlier, it's a lot of emotions behind it that you could have animosity towards the other parent or something like that. So all in all, there's like multiple layers we can pull back and pull back. This conversation can keep going and going and going on like the different angles. But to Solo's point with the Notebook and Boys in the Hood, like, I didn't view Boys in the Hood as something, as a bad movie. To me, it actually gave me hope when I looked at the. If you watch it now, it's about hope and going through with your dreams. That your environment may hinder you. So get out of that environment. When Ricky got shot in the back when he's about to go to college, it's a reality of people who live in, they live in the hood or certain environments. Yes, but I've also grew up in the suburbs and I've seen people who come from these good homes and they still choose to do this dumb stuff. So to me, it's just like, I can't say it's always good when you got both parents in the household, because they can still overlook that their child is going down the bad path. To me, it falls back on parenting and how involved you are as a parent. But then it could be Joy's point where she said, well, if I got to work multiple jobs and I'm away from the house, but I'm not there to emotionally support my child. So it's like multiple angles you can look at it from. I just look at it from a point of, I've seen people who have two parents in their household. Majority of my friends had two parents in their household. They're well off. But there are also people within our neighborhood who still have both parents, and they still decide to go sell drugs, still decide to go do whatever, except everything that their parents want them to do. So I just, in my mind, doesn't ring that having two parents in a household or having a successful family necessarily means that their offspring is going to be successful. Again, granted, it's Delaware, it's a real small, part of our country, so I can't speak for the whole country. But just from my experience, it's like love is love in my eyes, and I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it can kind of be both ways. I don't look at, what I'm saying, all movies in a bad light of our people. I'm looking at the loving support from the community within the movie. You feel me? Like Don't Be a Menace was a good movie. You feel me? It was a lot of crazy stuff going on in the movie, but at the end of the day, it's about a friend group and their experiences within that community. And it's like, at the end of the day, that's what you rely on. That's what you go back to. But you got to be bigger and think bigger than where you're at. Whether you're in a successful community or not, you still got to think bigger than the area. And unless
I
it's
mean,
literally
but
like
it
a
helps though.
millionaire type environment. That's how I look at it. But that's just my opinion on it.
But it helps though. I mean,
It does. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm agree on that. Having two parents in your life is better than one. Just as that's a given, bro. Like, but I've seen, like, literally, I've seen two parents where, even though it's both, like, you ever, okay, so for instance, and this is why I speak on the marriage portion of it, because it's very important. These all tied together. And this is I'll let you guys go through this. But to this point, you have both parents in the household, both love each other, right? But
mhm.
one parent may still feel like they do more than the other parent, regardless if it could be even. But there are situations where literally we have two parents in the household, but it's only one parent, because only one parent deals with the child, takes care of the child. Have you ever seen that before, Solo?
Yeah, of
They
course.
do everything. Like, if it's a newborn, they do everything, either the mom or dad. So I've seen on both sides where the mom does everything and where the dad does everything, the mom does nothing. So
Right.
I've seen both sides of that token. And again, I'm not judging their situation, but I don't think it's best for their child when you're watching that one parent take care of everything. It kind of like disassociates them from the other parent, because now they only rely on this one parent. You feel what I'm saying? And then when they get older, they got animosity to their other parent. and the other parent doesn't know why, and it's like, yo, bro, I didn't seen mom do everything and you didn't do anything for me in this aspect of love. You feel me? Like there was no connection between us because we didn't show anything about our love together. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. It could be wrong, it could be right. I don't know, but that's just how I look at it when it comes to when we look at different environments of love and if it's conditional, unconditional, things like that.
Hmm. No, I get it. I get it. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, and that's just gonna be it for me. I think uh, I think there's a part that's more advantageous than the other, though.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being honest, I mean, if and we're talking about kids here, right? Kids are going to be plastic, like they have very plastic minds. They're still
Mm-hmm.
developing, so they're gonna see a certain thing and they're gonna adapt to it, and that's what's gonna
Yeah.
be the norm for them, right? So let's say like they grew up with just one parent and or just like in a community where like it's everybody basically got like baby moms and baby dads. No one's really together, and they got multiple, right? It's going to be for that kid. It's going to be a norm, and that's economically like disadvantageous. Like, would you agree with that?
Oh no, yeah. Okay, in that aspect, yeah. So I'm in agreement. It's more advantageous for a child to grow up in a two-parent household economically, emotionally, spiritually, everything. Again, it's better to have two parents than one. um but what we mentioned earlier about the understanding of not making excuses, it's sometimes I don't want to say it like that when people say I don't know how to love, I've never taught how to love. You got to want
Mm,
better for yourself in that situation. So if you grow up in a one-parent household and that parent did everything in their power to provide you the best lifestyle they can, and if you're in an environment where bad choices are being made around you and you're aware of it, sometimes you don't have a choice to, I know, get involved in legal activity. I'm not saying do or don't. I'm not going to speak on that because I didn't have to grow up that way, so I can't speak on people's
yeah,
actions, what they choose to do, right? But to
yeah,
your point, it's definitely more advantageous to grow up in a two-parent household for sure, bro. It is. It's always like I promote unity within, but I feel like if you're not, but that parent still does everything to provide you with a lifestyle to at least get an opportunity to be successful in there, you better make the most of it because not only is that parent beating the odds by themselves, they're putting you in a position of to understand why you need unity in your life and why you shouldn't be looking to create the same formula that they just had to go through. You feel what I'm saying? So why come from a broken home and then go out there and create broken homes? You feel what I'm saying, bro? Like that's where I'm looking at it from. So I hear what you're saying, but the success stories from these quote unquote broken homes, like you should go out there to want to have when you want to create unity out there. Like, why would you go out there to create another broken home? And
some people don't know better though, man. Like that's their
but
reality.
that's what we speak about. You got to be able to. It's like opening your third eye. Like, how many times you gonna repeat this? I mean, can't say repeat the cycle because it's like one or two generations removed from like desegregation and all that stuff. You feel what I'm saying? So we can't see on like it's always been a thing for our people when we're just now really getting the ability to pass down knowledge and information and generational wealth to our kids. You feel what I mean? So we can't say like it's been going on for hundreds of years type things, but
Right.
um
And
I,
but
I just look at, I see my brain always goes that way. It goes to the way how we look at when we spoke about the Hispanics earlier, you know what I'm saying? Which one is going to be the one that's going to change things? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I look at it when it comes to that cycle because I don't know. That's
You're
just where
only
my
in this
brain
cycle
goes.
if you want to be stuck in this cycle. That's it.
Yeah, true. Oh, if you don't know any better, but it's, again, are we making excuses for adults to? And again, we're not talking about people who get locked up and things like that. All in all, and some stuff ain't designed for us to be successful. You know what I mean? So we know that portion of it. I'm speaking about the people who have the opportunity to go to college. Who, if college is your option, or trade school, or open up a business, whatever the case may be. If you're from a one-parent household or a two-parent household, there are advantages to. I think in both aspects there could be advantages to it. Obviously, it's more advantages having two parents in your life, yes. But the love that's taught to children, is it really there? Like, I mean, how many people we know that came from two-parent households now have their own family and vice versa? You feel me? So like, is that really a thing? Do you guys think that's really a thing, or is it? It just depends on the family. I think it depends on the family, to be honest, because I think everybody's situation is something that can be looked at. But it's definitely situational in my eyes. So obviously everything is situational, and we can't speak on all everybody term wise. But from your guys' experience, from your friends, colleagues, when you see people come from a two parent household, how do they treat others? I see. Honestly, I don't know. Yo, I could be wrong, but I'm telling you, people I seen come from a one parent household, they seem to just be better individuals, bro. I honestly, they could do more. They're more self sufficient, and it's come because from that type of
Is
household.
that
Yes,
a conditioning? Is that a conditioning for them to think that, like, that's the thing, right? So
I
like
don't know. I just see people
I
who come from two parents. They just seem to be like
just
more lazy. So
yeah,
mm,
huh?
I don't know. People I know who come from two
You
parent
said
households.
they're more lazy.
No, I've seen people that come from two parent households. They seem to be a lot more lazy when it comes to outside the box thinking. They just follow the system. I don't know. That's just me. I just feel like when you're put in certain predicaments to think outside the box, you just look at things differently. You look at the world for what it really is, and not in some confinement where you think it's going to be all glitz and glamour. When you know that's not the reality of America. You know the reality, so you know you got to bust your ass every day and really get to it. You know, it's not all glitz and glamour. I don't know. That's
Why
how I
not?
think.
Why not? Why not? Because
What?
life could be just glitz and glamour if you set it up for it to be like that. And that's the thing. It's like,
Mm,
I
uh,
definitely think
I
that
don't
it's
know.
a thought process, right?
Hmm.
You could sit up here and be like, oh, nah, you can't do this. But in real actuality, the things that hinder today's kids not going to hinder your son.
Hmm.
Why? Because you're putting that work in right now. So it's the thought process. He's going to be like, oh, life's glitz and glamour, because he's not going to have to work hard to do anything. He's going to, yeah, he may naturally excel at it. So he's not feeling like he's working hard.
Hmm.
I don't have to work harder than anybody else. This is what I'm doing. I'm good at it. I just walk on the field and I go, right? But it goes back to this thing. Hard work pays off when hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, and it's
Hmm.
just that simple. So yeah, there are people from two parent households, and I don't want to say it like that because I know people from two parent households, right, that are also successful. That yeah, they may not have the dog eat dog like I do, but that's a trauma response. I only eat a dog because I had to.
Hmm.
You don't have to eat a dog because you didn't have to grow up like that. So I'm not expecting you to eat a dog, or I'm not expecting you to have that inquisitive thought process that I have, because you didn't have to think about stuff the way I had to think about stuff. So you wouldn't be exposed to that, right? Just for example, when I was in high school, I got my bag stolen right out front of the house, right out front of the school. But this was 12th grade year.
Hmm.
And you know why? My bag was outside the school for hours. Mind you, I went to school over West Side, and it's like in my mind, hey, this is St. Elizabeth's. They're not gonna steal anything off the school property. There's cameras, people, whatever, whatever.
Hmm.
But my books were taken. My book bag was taken. They found my stuff down the street, but still, that's not the point.
Yeah.
They thought they were getting something. And in all actuality, you just get the books that the school provides. You feel what I'm saying? Because I
Hmm.
know better than to leave like my valuables anywhere.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it
Yeah. That
it
makes
it,
sense.
it, it goes to you. You don't experience it, you don't know what you would think about. I never experienced anybody stealing, so leaving my stuff outside was not a problem.
Facts.
You feel what I'm
Somebody
saying?
stole
So
my beats
like,
one day. That was a hard day, bro.
yeah, but you don't know that people steal until there's those experiences, right?
Yeah. That's true. All right. That's a good point. That was a good convo, yo. Like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm at the thumbs up on that one, y'all. But now that's a good convo, man. Listen, and we gonna just finish it here, y'all. Last topic of the night before we close out the stream. And appreciate everyone who tuned in tonight. I thank guys from the chat as well. Okay, okay, never mind. I thought what you're saying. My joint got copyright. I was say that's not me. I have no music on. There's no way, bro. But it's hard. That's a different email, guys. Don't worry about it. But yeah, okay. Last thing, Solo. Do you watch Power by any chance, bro?
Nah, I don't.
All right. Well,
I don't. Sorry.
it's all good, man. We just gonna end it out with the power reason. Oh my god, I guess we don't gotta end up with the power reason. Did you still want to talk about power tonight, Joy?
Mal, Power is literally on pause on my TV waiting for you.
Oh yeah, episode 2 just come out. All right. So we'll
You
just do.
did.
Oh yeah, it's 12 o'clock. Oh, it's not
It
12:30.
is.
Oh yeah, I forgot we started streaming a little later today. I gotta start getting a lot earlier, guys. Dang.
Time management, guys. I told him 9 o'clock. He was like, "Ooh, 9 o'clock.
I
This
was
kind of
still cooking
early."
at 9. Boy, I made some chicken today. Hmm.
So how about Mr. Diabetic? You don't eat past a certain time. But let me leave
Oh,
my
I
little
did.
mind to myself
It's
and
Juneteenth.
don't come back to work
Tanisha,
eating
right? Shout
nothing in
out.
the
Happy
machines.
Juneteenth. Happy June. No, I didn't eat actually. My plate is still upstairs in the microwave. I'll take a picture when I'm done. So I didn't eat dinner actually. So for
Mm.
correction, Joy, I did hold to myself to that because I ate at 6 o'clock after I trained my son for an hour and a half today. You know what I'm saying? He's putting that work in. You know what I'm saying? But all jokes aside, it is Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth, everyone. Yeah,
Yo, you gotta chill,
I
yo.
already. Sorry, Tanisha put in the chat. I just seen that, so she was right. It is June 19th. Are we all? Wait, so are we off tonight?
You hear Michael Jackson in the background
Damn, you gotta turn your phone.
crying.
Yeah, yeah. It's because he's or turn your phone down, son. Come on, my mic is picking up. Turn it down. Thank you. You heard him say, yeah, that's what I've been listening to the last hour, just random YouTube
That's
shorts in my ear,
cool.
but it's all good, y'all. But yeah, so sorry about that. We'll end the stream right here. So we're just gonna give our thoughts on episode one of Raising Kanan. Solo, I know that you don't watch Power, but even if you don't watch Power, you can still um give your opinion on it if you want to. If not, it's completely okay. So basically, we were going to speak on number one, the first episode of Power, just an overall recap of it, what your thoughts were, and then also on we spoke on environmental things. So for everyone who's seen episode one of Power, and spoiler, if you haven't seen it, then just in the stream here, but I'm going to say it. So the opening scene of episode one, Kanan wound up killing his uncle Lou. You know what I'm saying? And a question I had, which is why I said so you can give your thoughts on it, where staying in that environment when you know it's not good for you, why don't we leave early before something tragic like this happens? So in Power, Kanan wound up killing his uncle accidentally. He didn't kill him on purpose. He was trying to kill his mom. Then his uncle walked in with his bodyguard, with the mom's security guard. He fired a shot in the air. It startled Kanan, so he wound up turning around and shooting his uncle. The question is, Lou, who is Uncle Lou, who got killed. The question is that why do we stay in environments that aren't good for us until something tragic happens to our family in order for us to leave or make a difference in our life? So Uncle Lou wanted to be a big music producer, you feel me? Which he was in the process of doing. He wanted to get out of the family business at one point, but then wound up going back into the family business, which is in this case selling drugs,
Because
killing
why?
people.
Go
His
ahead
sister,
and say because his sister
his
guilt tripped
sister.
him back into that shit.
Uh,
And what else? And then he became an alcoholic, killed somebody, and then he what? Like normal, most people come to a place have to save somebody. You go into a deep depression now.
mhm. And he was dealing with struggles and stuff with, killing one of his friends from his sister orders. So he was doing a lot of mental situations, which I thought was a good topic to pick out because this is also men's mental health awareness. So quick promo, not promo for
We
my
don't
channel,
care
but
about men's mental health, really.
well, we're gonna clip
Women
that part
don't.
out.
I'm just gonna say that women don't really care.
That's a fact. Yo, that's a fact, man. But listen, to any man out there who needs anybody to talk to or somebody to talk to, if you can't per se get in touch with me, please reach out to someone important or someone close to you. It's never too late to get help. It's never too late to, get assistance or anything of that nature. So I just want to get that message out there, y'all. You gotta take men's mental health serious. And like Joy said, it's probably not taken serious by the women's side, but there was a stat that came out the other day that said young black men are committing suicide at a higher rate. So I think we need to put it out there that listen, life is hard. You feel me? We all understand life is hard. We've all dealt through turmoil and disappointment, failure, everything. So the world may feel like it's ending. I feel at one point I was at a deep, I'm saying, I don't say depression. I don't believe. Okay, let me not say that. Let me phrase it. I don't say depression is not real. I'm gonna just say I don't believe that you have to stay in depression. You can do something to get yourself out of that situation. So, in Uncle Lou's example, I was going to say he fell back into the family business because of his sister pressure, and also, like Joy mentioned, he became an alcoholic, and he just didn't listen to his instincts to leave. When you get that feeling that things got to get changed in your life, you just gotta go. That's if you believe in God, that's him telling you there's something better on the horizon coming along. You just got to find out what it is and believe in the plan itself. And if you don't believe in God, it's something in the universe the universe is putting you in that same predicament. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, where you're at, where you may be at mentally, it may not be the best place. But just know things do get better in time. Um, it's not end all be all because life changes like this sometimes, good or bad, you know. So when you're in a bad spot, surround yourself with people who can get you to a better place. And if you have no one there, there is always someone available because there is a phone number you can call. It's not my number, but there's a you know a 1-800 hotline something. You feel me? There's people you could talk to that's available for these resources for you. So if you have a working phone, you have someone to talk to. Just know that you're never alone. I just want to get that message out there, especially for men's mental health awareness, especially for our young black men out there. Don't feel like you gotta go through things alone. Don't feel like you can't open up to people. Because if you can't open up to your family or your friends, again, there are resources out there for you to get to. You just have to have that mindset to want to get help. Don't wait for help until it's too late. You done burned every bridges out there. You feel me? Or you done cut the world off from you done cut yourself off from the world. So now you're desensitized to things. Don't do that. Learn to process emotions because we're human beings at the end of the day. I just that's all the message I want to give out there to you guys. Joy, if you want to give your thoughts for episode 2 or your recap episode 1, you can. And Solo, if you want to give your last thoughts on whatever I just said, if you want to mention something about men's mental health or in regards to just dealing with any mental struggles for people, especially with you being in the healthcare field, if you see it at work, like I've seen it at work, and I've extended my offering hand to people. Some took advantage of it, some didn't. But I know at least at the end of the day, I'm offering support to people who don't have anybody to talk to, and that's the point of our channel. So I'll let you guys give your responses to that.
Okay. Um, Mental health is real. Um, a lot of men suffer in silence. Talk to somebody, and even if you decide not to, practice good habits. All right. Don't try to resolve your problems via drugs, alcohol, or things that that could possibly lead you into the wrong uh, direction. But always find a support system, whether it's family or friends, right? Or even just praying. I mean, just pray. That way, you're able to kind of release all the stuff that you're feeling inside and put it out, and you're not really dwelling with it, right? You're able to analyze your thoughts, your own self. Um, but even me now, like with work, I have to. I think I'm getting to a point where it feels like the burnout is real, and I have to try and maximize my time that I have by myself and being present in the moment. Because even like on weekends, I'm thinking about work. Why is that? I don't work on weekends, but I'm thinking about work, and I never really get a chance to think about myself
Mhm.
or people around me who I care about. So prioritize yourself, prioritize your mental, and practice good habits. That's it.
Joy.
Um, it's all jokes. It's all jokes. I do care about men's mental health. I'm gonna just say, find a person, find somebody to talk to. You feel me? Find some friends that make you laugh. Do some stuff. Do whatever makes you happy. As far as power, I still need some time to figure out what's happening. We'll have to recap next time because I don't know. I need to rewatch it and get a little more in there. I don't know.
Yeah, I know they're throwing a lot at us in the season. You gotta kind
It's
of
just
follow
crazy
along,
because I
right?
really think Unique, like she gonna go to war for real, but I also think that like the whole thing with Unique and it all blowing back on Unique because Marvin gonna think it's Unique for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Jukebox know what's up
She knows something up. Facts.
because she said she sent Lou over there, and then Kanan lying, and then she watched Rock and Kanan at the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got in the car and you feel me, and she said, "You did to me. You never had an enemy like me." He said, "You feel me? You've been my enemy my whole life, and let's talk about that because
Yeah. Are you Team Rock or Team Kanan?
she killed his dad."
Mm-hmm.
She put Defcon in jail. She killed his other dad. She killed, you feel me? It's
Yeah, he thought he blaming her for the death of Famous, not knowing that it's snapping pops. You feel me?
nah. She had to do it famous.
Nah, she didn't kill Famous. Remember
Snapping famous.
snapping pops did. They sent the they hired the cop. Remember? Yeah,
Not
snapping.
for famous for Crystal.
Nah, they for both. They killed both. Yeah, you gotta rewatch that.
No, famous.
Yeah.
The mom had everything to do with famous.
Nah, rewatch. You gotta rewatch it because they found his body out like somewhere far away. And then if you like to watch that later in that episode, Snapping Pops is like, yeah, like we had to off his friend Famous. I'm trying to tell you, you gotta rewatch that episode. Yeah, Snapping Pops is the reason why Famous is dead and the reason why Crystal is dead. That's why Rock is confused why Kanan is blaming her for that. Yeah, you might have to rewatch that, John. It's been a little minute ago since season 4, but I had to rewatch before season 5 came out. So that John is like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I mean,
Also,
again, it's a lot that'll be unpacked this season. It's crazy because I know Soul doesn't know about it, but like even for that fact that Kanan doesn't know that they didn't off two of his close people, and then he's working with their nephew. I was like, oh snap, yeah, something's gonna blow back. You feel me? Um, you like we know that Breeze is gonna die because we watched the original Power. I wonder if Ghost got wind of that information from Kanan, because he mentioned it like it's a lot that I'm trying to tie together. But basically, long story short, is that he mentioned the Ghost when he said like, you remember how you off Breeze, like it was like something to be proud of. You feel me? That was Ghost's first body per se. You feel me? So I think there's some correlation they may connect with all the dots. I don't know if Ghost would do it in this season or not because they're supposed to release another book of Power about Power origins of Ghost and Tommy. So again, we got to see what Power does because they always stole some pops with Scenario. So we don't know for sure. That's just where my brain goes when I just watch other episodes over again. I'm just like, oh yeah, they may try to hit us with some crazy stuff out there. But that was it. That's my thoughts on it. Again, but we can recap it though after this season because we'll have a lot
okay,
more with
my
episode one
my
and two.
social battery, my talk is gone.
It's all
I have no
good.
more talk.
We're good. Listen, this
I
listen.
have no more talk, guys. I listen. I could yap all day and night, but um,
No, we're good. I was reading the stream now. But again, listen, we want to thank everybody in the chat today who stayed the whole time to watch the stream today. Thank you again, guys, for all the love and support, especially in the comments from Twitch, YouTube, and also on Facebook. So we appreciate everybody that tuned into the live today. Again, we'll be going live weekly. Well, I go live every day, guys. I'm live on Twitch, YouTube, Kick. I'll be doing Facebook streaming when we do these type of broadcasts, but my broadcast for gaming and stuff will be live every day on those other channels as well. So just be on the lookout for those posts. Again, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content. We're going to end the stream here. So thank you
you need to
again.
answer the questions in the chat before you go.
When's the next stream? Oh, I stream every night. So I'll be on every night. You know what I'm saying? It can be. All right. So listen, I
He
do
doesn't
do
talk every night. He
yeah,
doesn't talk to people every
I
night.
don't do solo broadcasts every night, but I can listen. I can. So what I'm in the process of doing, Tanisha, to actually answer your question. So I'm trying to get TikTok linked with all these other lives at the same time. Enjoying solo. If y'all wanted to, leave the stream, you can. If not, you can stay for us. But I'm going to just answer a question and then get ready to end the stream as well. So I just want to let you guys know that.
Yeah, I'm
But
about
the
to hop
next,
on, guys.
all right, no
Good
problem, bro.
night.
Appreciate you having me. Good night,
No,
y'all.
thank you too
Thank
for
you for
hopping
having
on tonight.
me.
Of course, anytime y'all can join anytime
Happy
as well.
Father's Day to every dad that's watching because
Facts.
I don't hate fathers. We love good fathers over here.
Facts.
Yeah. So thank you too for joining. So yes, Saidija, to answer your question though. So I go live daily. So again, it'll be on YouTube, Twitch, Kick. We'll get live streams daily because those would be also my gaming channels as well. So we are we're like a multi-brand channel at this point in time. So we'll have we'll have diabetes content, specifically type 1 diabetes will be the awareness that we'll be bringing attention to, but diabetes overall will also be getting attention to as well because we're a diabetes awareness channel at the end of the day. We will be speaking on all topics throughout the week. So we go live every day. It could be during the day or at night. So I'll announce when we're going live for people just to tune in as well. But we'll for sure be going live at night, 9:30, 10 o'clock. I get off work at 8, so it's a little, you know what I'm saying? I got to get time to get home from work, and everything like that, that nature to get set up, make sure everything gets set up. You feel me? So realistically, we'll be live every night. And on the weekends, it could be during the morning time or during the day as well. So we're just trying to get a lot of content out there. The next stream, to answer your question, will be live tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we are either be doing a gaming, or if we get people who want to come on stream. So the stream, as far as the live goes, sorry, as far as the live goes, is open up to anybody. So anybody can join the stream via the link. I'll put in the chat as well at the beginning of the stream, and then I'll start putting it in the stream as well. As we get more people in, it'll be easier for me to do things like this, and I get a better setup to just put stuff in the chat. But to answer your question, the next stream is going to be tomorrow night. We're aiming for probably 8 o'clock start time, 8 to 9 in between that time, preferably 8, so we get on a little bit earlier. What we may do is as well, I can do this for you guys if you guys are interested, do like a half solo broadcast or invite you guys on stream, depending on the topics. Well, again, the live is always going to be open for you guys to join. If you feel comfortable getting on stream, that's completely fine. But we'll do it like this. I can do half solo broadcast and the other half either be 2K, Call of Duty, and things of that nature. Again, I have a stronger PC setup coming in tomorrow night, my gaming PC, but it's for broadcasting too. So there's a lot more things that I'll be able to do at once. But yeah, we'll be live tomorrow night for sure. And again, we're going live every night. This is the only way we'll be able to grow our brand, grow our channel, is to be consistent. You feel me? Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm glad you liked it, So we definitely appreciate you. Thank you for following the Twitch channel as well, because we're trying to get become a Twitch affiliate. So we got to keep growing our channel on Twitch, and we're going to channel on YouTube and Kick at the same time. And then also our Facebook audience is something where we have established, but we're trying to grow bigger on Facebook too. So anytime you see a post or anything we put up, thank you for all your support too. We appreciate you staying the whole time in the stream too. And definitely tap in tomorrow night. Again, if you have anything you want us to discuss or anything that comes across your feed, would you like to give our opinion on? You can also send it to me in a DM, in a DM as well, because the content you guys or the questions you guys put in the chat, the information you guys put in the chat is also informative to our conversation too. So it's also an add-on. You feel me? So yes, we have our own talking points and things of that nature or topics, but you guys are just as valuable to these conversations as everything else. So I'm definitely glad you like the content. Just make sure every time you go live, you can just stop by, just say hey or leave a like. That's all. We really appreciate everything. We definitely appreciate you staying in the whole time too as well. I'm glad you enjoyed. So yeah, we'll be live tomorrow night. Again, I'll probably do like so I'll probably do like about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the topics that come across. And if anything comes across interesting, I could do like 30 minutes to an hour of like this, you know what I'm saying? And it can go longer if people want to join. Because if we can integrate TikTok into this, then it'll be a lot easier. But we just gotta get our TikTok over, I think, 1,000 followers, which is also a new page. So there's a lot of stuff we're working on at the same time. But long story short, we'll be live tomorrow night, and we'll be live every night. Because this is what we're planning on doing consistently, to grow our brand, to grow our channel. Again, end all be all is to bring awareness to diabetes, but we won't just be like speaking on diabetes every night. It'll be about like how we did tonight, all topics, interesting conversations. We'll have different guests on, so either people from the chat or like we had a couple people who wanted to get on live tonight. So sometimes we may have a bigger guest audience. More guests on stream at the same time as well. So tonight we had Solo join midstream, and we had Joy at the beginning of the stream. So there could be times like that where somebody else may want to join after they see that we're live. So we don't know sometimes where it will go, but at the end of the day, we're going live daily. So thank you again for tuning in. And hey, turn those post notifications on, like Tanae just said. You feel me? So if y'all could do that too, chat, we definitely appreciate it. But yeah, look, we're gonna end it here. I was planning on streaming 2K tonight, but it is past 12:30. If I do get on the game, I definitely will turn the stream on. But if I'm not on the stream tonight, that's only because we already been on for about 2.5 hours. So actually, I'm lying. If I get on the game, I'm going to stream. So you guys may see me in the live now, but depending on after my son's about to go to sleep because he's here right here on the beanbag. You guys can't see him, but he's literally falling asleep now. So I thought I put him to sleep. If I'm still have energy and stuff like that, then I'll definitely go live tomorrow for you guys. Oh, and again, the quality of the stream is it's good now. You feel me? Don't get me wrong. It's not bad, but the quality of the stream is going to be even better again because we have a stronger PC coming in tomorrow night. So listen, it's gonna be so much better, guys. And we'll be able to do more too, as far as like, you know what I'm saying, you guys can see the chat on the screen, of course. I hope so. Um, I can see it on my end, so I don't know if you guys see on my end. But basically, we're gonna be able to have a lot more, and we also got a logo being made for our channel. So like, we'll have more graphics and stuff like that as we grow as a channel. Like, it's a little bit different when trying to learn everything all at once. But I'm understanding the differences between like different streaming software. I'm sorry, I'm rambling because I like to talk. So you asked a simple question. I hope I answered it. We'll be loud all night. But yes, all in all, be all, I'm very excited about this journey. Very excited to get started. Like, listen, we had a podcast originally. It was a Piece of Knowledge podcast. So all we're doing is literally just taking that like type of setup. I just took all my recording stuff that I had for my podcast, and I'm like, yo, I need to start going live every day because a podcast is cool, but I don't, we this is technically a podcast. It's a daily podcast, you know. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. So this is always the vision. You feel me? The vision was to uh do this daily, but just have someone to do it with, So that was always the vision. It just took a while to understand like software and setups and everything like that. Like, this camera I got now is a webcam. It's an Elgato webcam, $150. You feel me? I done spent thousands of dollars on other cameras that didn't work well with streaming software. So that was the setback for me as far as like producing content a lot, was that my cameras I was spending money on was still giving me a bad image. But then you tell me I get a camera like this, even with like lighting and switching, you got like settings and stuff like that, but it's a lot more clear image. You feel me? So that was the only hold up with everything. And then like, there's a lot more things you can do now to create content, and the editing and all this stuff that helps out. So that was also a big thing too. When you're creating content, you got to sit there and do all the editing, find clips and stuff like that. So now that I have a formula, it's a lot easier for me to do those things, to get content out to you guys like daily. So every social media is getting posts on there. These are getting live information. We're going live daily. So yeah, to answer your question though, we'll be live tomorrow night. Again, around 8 to 9 p.m. Usually I'm doing my training with my son around 4 o'clock, 4:30. So after that, you know what I'm saying? After I do that with him, do dinner, everything like that, then that's when I kind of get ready to start setting up stream. Like tonight, I was cooking dinner, and as I got done cooking dinner, I had to hop on stream, you feel me? So I didn't even eat the dinner because I was just saving it for meal prep for tomorrow. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to promote, is overall good habits and consistency. But yes, to answer your question, we'll be live tomorrow night. And you know what I'm saying? Our goal, realistically though, we're trying to do 4 hours of stream, like the minimum. Tonight was good. I mean, because I know our guests aren't gonna stay on for 4 hours. I'm not telling for them. For me, particularly, I'm trying to stream 4 hours a night. So a lot more nights. Again, we're gonna start mixing it up where we'll do a solo broadcast first. Then if we end it, then we may go live again to do the gaming content, or we may just keep it all going all together. It's just a little bit things you gotta change with again, this ain't for you. This is really for me. There are things you gotta change on like your streaming services for categories and things like that nature. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. Look, you can just put us on, you know what I'm saying? Just put us on. Cause look, one thing about me, I'm a talk. So whether they on or not, I'm gonna get some engagement from you guys. I'm gonna really be interested in your guys' comments and sections, stuff like that. So hey, I appreciate you putting us on in the background while you're about to clean the house, something like that. So I'm glad we could be that little background noise for you. But then about seriously, all in all, be all, I definitely appreciate the support. It definitely means a lot, especially knowing you personally. Like I'm hoping everything again is well in your situation. Not just what you mentioned earlier, but just overall well-being in life. You feel me? I'm hoping that you're living and pushing towards your dreams and aspirations. Because that's what it's all about. You feel me? I'm again, the message is to just push positivity. We're gonna have topics where it's gonna be all over the place, but at the end of the day, it's just to create the thought process in our brain, to think differently than what the information we're looking into a lot. We're no different from I'm lying. We are different from other podcasts and other talk shows. I don't want to be humble, but we're going to be different in that regard. But again, our content's original and it's not forced. Nah, for real. And to your point, that's what we're trying to do. But listen, we know the community is going to grow. It just takes time. So this has always been the goal. So the YouTube page I have, not sure if you're subscribed to it now, but it's not a new YouTube page. It says a YouTube page I originally thought of in about 2017 and 18. I wanted to start a podcast back then. So my first YouTube short is on that channel. I'm not going to. That's why I didn't delete the channel because I knew I was going to use it eventually. But long story short is that the goal was always to become the biggest podcast, like one of the hottest podcasts in the country. You feel me? So it's just sometimes things take time. You feel me? Life happens, and you really just gotta don't put your dreams away. Sometimes you got to put them to the side to focus on taking care of what you got to take care of. You feel me? Life has priorities. It does. So that was the thing I know about. You feel me? I didn't, you know what I'm saying, do that. Yeah. So yeah, for sure. So I definitely appreciate it. Yeah. And so like the piece of knowledge page as well, it's not like scrapped or anything. Like, it's still there. Um, like we'll use it. Honestly, I may start see if I can start streaming on there too. I gotta see if I can connect it, but I already having YouTube to this new channel. I mean, to the channel I'm using now too. Because I had to separate from piece of knowledge just due to the content that was already on there. I had to make it Miles Stacks because Miles Stacks is gonna be my personal page. Also, like I'm doing my broadcasting on there, things like that nature. So it just made sense not to use my piece of knowledge because if I want to rebrand a piece of knowledge podcast to something else. So we do have some things in the works where we'll see what people think, but some people may want to eventually start a podcast and stuff like that. Oh yeah, for sure. And then thank you for the idea. So that's what I'm saying too. Like, um, we're still learning on how to, get content out on social media. So we're working on like the marketing aspect of it. Again, one person doing it all. It's not hard, really. It's just mainly like it just causes it's a lot of attention and time you got put into it. So, like for instance, tonight we go live for 3 hours. And then I gotta, what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to do is now to have the channel grow organically as well. What I'm implementing into my strategy is like I got a digital business card. So every morning, I'm trying to at least go to either Wilmington or some type either library, something to promote the channel. But people can follow either subscribe or follow the channel, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, or Kick or whatever streaming service they like to use, so they could just see our content. So to your point, make sure I do that. So yeah, I'm getting a logo made for this Miles Stacks page. And then I'll have that graphic too, where it'll be the links of all the social media and they have a link tree. So have all those things readily available for people to follow the content, for when they share it out, they know where to reach us at to see when we're live. So, um, oh yes, TikTok, yeah. So, but TikTok too. So eventually, our TikTok will be linked to the channel. So with TikTok, the only thing is that until I get 1,000 followers on there, I can't yet take my TikTok live link and put it to my I use StreamYard to broadcast it out. So long story short, TikTok isn't designed to use again a StreamYard. So like it's for now Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. You can just log in and go live. But with TikTok, you will have to add it as an additional destination. But in order to copy your link from TikTok, you have to have 1,000 followers. So that's what I was thinking a little bit go later live today. I was trying to link the TikTok on there because we were live last night. So what I'm going to starting tomorrow at least. This is what we're going to do, is that I'll have the new PC and stuff, so this will be a lot easier to do. I'll be streaming to you guys here, and then I'll have the setup to the left going to TikTok live. You feel me? So I can read the chat. That's the only thing is that if I'm on, like for instance, you're on Twitch and everything, so I have to have it on my phone so I can see you guys here. Then I can see everybody else from YouTube, Facebook, and stuff here, and then I'll be able to see the TikTok live over here. Starting tomorrow, once my PC and stuff comes in, I set everything up with the monitor. So that was the only hold up. But yeah, we're gonna be live on TikTok daily as well. So I'm already posting on TikTok daily. I just gotta start getting like clips like this out on TikTok and also the gaming content too. So we're gonna be trying to do it all angles. But to your point, yes, TikTok everywhere. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Kick, Facebook, Twitch, and whatever other streaming thing comes up, we're trying to go live all at the same time. Your page has to have allow you to do certain things. So again, we got to be consistent with the posting, consistent with the engagement, and over time, we'll definitely do that. No, for sure, yeah. But then, see, the thing with TikTok is that facts. Like yesterday, I went live on TikTok while I was playing 2K. Even though people couldn't even see the gameplay, they were still joining into the live, and I wound up gaining like 3 followers last night, which was big compared to other streaming places. So to your point, yeah, like tonight we should have been live on TikTok too. It's just that my setup, I need one more day so I could get everything how I needed to be. It'd be a lot easier to communicate with the screens and everything. But no excuses. That's the whole point of you create content. You got to figure a way around it. You feel me? So yes, we will be going live on TikTok with everything else starting tomorrow. Again, I'm gonna work on a little bit earlier in the day so I can have everything figured out. So when we go live at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tomorrow, I don't know for sure the time, so I'll post up a time tomorrow to let you guys know. But yes, for sure, Tiny, just send me any topics you come across tomorrow that interests you, because if it's interesting to you, it's interesting to someone else. You feel me? So that's why we're trying to engage in all type of conversations, because that's what we do. We're a talk show at the end of the day, podcast, talk show, whatever you want to label it as. That's what we are, and it's good again to be consistent when you're creating content. So for sure, thank you for that. All right, I appreciate it. But thank God, yeah, we're ending the stream anyway. So we reached our mark as well. So again, thank you for tuning in the stream, and thank you to everyone else. I appreciate you guys tuning into today's stream. Again, follow us on all socials, Mal_stacks. Our Twitch is HHX Mal. Because somebody took Mal Stacks. You don't use the page, but it's all good. But listen, follow us on all socials. We'll be live daily. Every night we're going live. So thank you guys again for tuning into the stream. I'm gonna end it here. And I hope everyone has a blessed night. And you guys just have a great day tomorrow as well. End the week well. Happy Juneteenth to everybody as well. And again, I'll see everybody tomorrow night. Peace.